The following announcement has been paid for by the Amico No Access.
What's up, meatbags? It is Tony TGD coming at you with Carl and Sidekick Max. Say hello to the people, Max.
No.
So what's up, Carl?
Oh, not much. Just playing some games, and that's about it. Enjoying my Xbox, and that's about it.
Enjoying your Xbox.
That's Series S. Well, I mean, not family fun. And hello to all you Twitter baiters out there.
There's another week. There's another Amico day here in Amicoville. Now, tonight we're not just going to be talking about Amico.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about what our favorite and least favorite Japanimation movies are, TV series. We're going to be talking about
what have you.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about some wrestling, our favorite wrestling managers. And both we're going to be talking about the Amico stock photo controversy and the controller price.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get hot tonight, folks.
And we might even talk a little bit about the recent, how should I say this, heated discussion on Amico After Dark.
Oh, and we got to talk about Digital Foundry's reaction.
Yeah, so much news, so much things to get to.
Oh yeah.
I'm popping open a Monster. I'm going to stay awake for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, strap in. Put your chairs in the upright position because we're about to take off. So, Carl, why don't you start us off here? Let's start in a nice, easy conversation since, we're waiting for people to show up. What is your favorite Japanimation?
I think my favorite Japanimation is probably Megazone 23, all three parts, because it's kind of introduced me to one of my favorite movies of all time, the Streets of Fire. So that's my favorite.
And what would be your least favorite?
Akira.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that, Carl. I'm not a big fan of Akira.
I mean,
everybody always talks about it.
Here's my problem. And, the problem is he starts you, it's called Akira, but it's not necessarily about Akira. It's about this other kid who's on his quest to find him. And you find out spoiler alert, folks. Let's give a few seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you've all been warned. Akira is dead. They preserved his organs and basically, use them in their experiments.
Yeah, it was. It's a big letdown. Everyone always talks about it being so influential and everything, and I don't feel it. I'm not feeling Akira.
What's your favorite? Oh, and hey, Easy G, Ninja Kitty. I think that's Opaque one.
Yeah, and we got Easy G in the house.
Yeah. So what's up, guys?
Quick, Wiley Kid says he's not going to be able to make it to the live stream. He's feeling a little sleepy. I'm glad to see him around. I'm glad to see him. He is the person that was getting bullied by the Amico fans, so I'm glad that he's still around. Now, my favorite.
Yeah, what's your favorite?
It's got to be. It's a tie between Spirited Away, which I really love.
Ooh.
It speaks to me. I really love the story.
Oh,
the
man.
animation. Studio Ghibli can never go wrong with Studio Ghibli.
I mean, generally, I mean, there's some I don't like as much, but I've never hated a single Ghibli film, or however you're supposed to pronounce it.
Yeah, I've never hated a single one either. But it's a tie between Spirited Away and Kinnikuman, which is it's a Japanese wrestling / action. A lot of comedy.
Oh,
it's funny. I'm a huge wrestling fan, obviously.
It used to be Ultimate Muscle. It's also known as Ultimate Muscle, I think, in America, if I'm not mistaken.
You're slightly mistaken, Carl.
Oh, okay.
Ultimate Muscle is the sequel.
Okay, all right. That's cool.
And yeah, so
yeah,
the original Kinnikuman, it started off as a parody of Ultraman. And it was
the human.
So Kinnikuman was a parody of Ultraman. It had some superhero parody in it. It quickly transitioned to a wrestling parody, which, I'm a huge wrestling fan. It's got all the classic, Hulk Hogan stereotypes.
Yeah.
So Easy G says Spirited Away has too much philosophy. I don't agree with that.
What are you? What are you, an uncultured boob?
Yeah, don't be an uncultured swine, Easy G. Opaque One wants to know about Yorotsu.
Let me take a stab
I think
at
that's
it.
What I think it is. Is that the Legend of the Overfiend?
Erosu Kidoji. Erosu Kidoji. I think.
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
Psychopath is good, but it's not great. Sidekick Max, what would be your least favorite Japanimation?
I don't really hate.
Oh, if you want to watch a good one, you need to watch Goku Midnight Eye. I mean, the first one is good, but it kind of gets repetitive in the second.
I gotta throw it on the list, but I don't hate Japanimation because it's bad. I hate it because the fandom.
Well, which one would be your least favorite?
My Hero Academia. Really.
Oh, you too.
It's not that it's a bad storyline or anything. It's just I hate people who like it, so it ruined it for me.
Oh, I mean, my problem with Hero Academia is the storytelling. It does that thing that I really hate in anime, and Japanimation. Yeah, but I totally get what you mean.
Says Easy G says he wants action, a lot of blood, or blood or Ninja Scroll. Ninja Scroll's good.
Oh, then dude, you need to watch Goku Midnight Eye. It's got lots of that stuff. And 8-Man After, if you can find it.
And what would be your favorite Japanimation? I think next.
My Neighbor Totoro. I don't know. It had good family memories.
I couldn't get into it, but I didn't hate it.
Opaque One, Legend of the Overfiend. I think that's for a different, more adult audience that we really couldn't discuss here.
Bibu has a great story, but it is not.
Cowboy Bebop has a lot of philosophy.
Cowboy Bebop's good.
Cowboy Bebop definitely has a lot of philosophy in it. I agree with that.
I think Easy G, I don't know what you're watching, but there is tons.
Yeah, for real. There's tons of that kind of stuff. Hey, man, what up?
All right, so Sidekick Max said, what was the second one that you said that you also really like?
I forgot the name because I can't think about it, but it's that one World War II.
Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, Grave of the Fireflies. That's what it is.
I've heard of that, but I've never seen it.
so sad.
Grave of the Fireflies. For anyone who doesn't know, it is a World War II. It takes place right after the bombs have dropped on Japan. It's about a young boy, and I believe it's his younger sister, but it could be a young sister. And he's trying to travel across Japan to go to his family member's house because who he's staying with, because his parents are dead, but who he's staying with is kind of mean and he doesn't want to listen. So he's traveling across Japan, and spoiler alert, well, not really a spoiler because they tell you at the beginning that they're dead. Over the course of the thing, they die. They starve to death because the kid is so adamant not to listen to authority and not to listen to his parents, or his aunt rather, that he ends up taking his sister across the country and dying of starvation.
I mean, it's takes place after World War II, so of course it's going to be sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of gory too. It just messes you up. To be honest.
Vampire Hunter D.
I've heard of it.
If you like blood, watch Vampire Hunter D. That's really good.
I mean, generally that's the same with all vampire anime, Trinity Blood, which is really good. That's one of my favorites, but I mean, my problem with it is it doesn't necessarily finish.
Yeah. Steam Boy is good. Steam Boy is really good. It's a little weird.
Steam Boy is really weird. I agree with that, but it is good though.
The voice acting, the American cast that they got is superb, top notch.
And it's made by the same people who did Akira, I think.
I believe it might be.
Yeah, it's you know. And hey, you know, if Retro Bro and all of them are watching, hey, what's your favorite anime and what's your least favorite?
Leave it in the comments. Let us know. But
leave it in comments, dude.
Beefy agrees. Grave of the Fireflies is great. It is fantastic. I recommend you watching it. Animatrix had some good it was hit or miss. Some of it was good, some of it was bad.
I don't know if I could legitimately call Animatrix a Japanimation, but it's just my personal opinion.
I believe some of the segments might have been made by studios from Japan.
Well, whichever. Hey, it's Japanimation Easy G, not anime.
Now, if you want to talk about weird Japanimation movies.
Oh, man.
Sidekick Max and myself, we were going, they had a little, they had an anime every week that was going to be, Japanimation rather, that was going to be played at the movie theater so you could see it.
Studio Ghibli.
It was like a Studio Ghibli fest. But they threw in a movie. What was it called?
Pom Poko.
Pom Poko. Okay, Pom Poko.
Never heard of it.
It's about a forest that's going to get demolished, right? And the protectors of the forest are tanukis, which, if anyone who's familiar, it's like a raccoon dog. Not quite a raccoon, not quite a dog. They got magical powers. They're tricksters. They could change their shape and form. But here's the thing. Here's the catch. Yeah, the way that they use their magic is they use their nutsack. And there's no nice way to put it. They have giant.
Oh, come
cojones.
on! You're lying.
I'm not lying. I swear to. I wish that we didn't know. We went in there. We were watching this. I think Max was like 14, maybe.
Yeah.
So we're watching this, and they're like, they would stretch their sack out and like wrap it over them, and then it would like change form, or like they would fly with it. It was the most odd.
The music was good though.
It had good animation. It had good music, but it was just so odd. It was so Japan. Okay, like you couldn't get more Japan than that.
So let me get this straight. Max goes in to watch an anime, and he ends up watching a sausage fest.
No, there was no sausage. It was just all.
Oh, okay.
It was all potatoes. No meat, just potatoes.
Okay, all right.
It was the weirdest thing, but it had a nice overarching story. The whole point of it, environmentalism and stuff.
Everything was good. It was just awful taste, but great execution.
But that's the weird thing. Look it up, Pom Poko, if you think I'm lying.
Oh no, thank you. No, it's too weird for me.
Pigsy says, not a big fan because I feel a lot of them exploit young children in a negative way. I'm very careful what I pick to watch.
I'll tell you a really weird one is Mermaid Scar. It's basically this anime where if you eat a mermaid's flesh, you either become immortal or you turn into a monster. I feel it's like Mermaid Scar or something like that. It's been such a long time since I've seen it.
Never heard of it. I have like really shit taste in Japanimation. I'm not.
And then there's this other one that I've been a Sailor Moon fan since way back. I've seen the old stuff, but not the new stuff. But anyway, when Pioneer was doing the movies, they advertised one anime called Catnapped, it looked kind of cool. I still gotta watch that at some point.
All
right. So Mr. Beefy says
I think that's enough.
All right.
Yeah, listen. All right. I think, if anyone got any recommendations for Japanimations, any things like that, leave them in the comments. Let us know. I'll probably check them out. I might not. I might make Sidekick Max watch them and report.
Ooh, hey, Appleseed was. I seen the original Appleseed, and I saw the remake.
But I think we should move on to the main event.
All
to
right.
the reason that we're all here. The reason.
Wrestlers?
No, that's not why we're here. We're here.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Obviously, that means we're talking about the Amico. So, Carl, what are your thoughts on this whole $80 controller fiasco?
I mean, I found it confusing at first. Like something wasn't right. Like we were being set up. I mean, there's got to be more to this. I mean, geez, an $80 controller. I mean, I've heard like Scuff or whatever has them that expensive, more so, I think. But it's just, I'm still finding it hard to believe, to be honest.
Well, I checked Argos in the UK, and it's about $80. I checked Saturn, which I believe is the German site. That was about $80. I think it was the Spanish one. Forget what it was called, but there was like $77 version and an $80 version. But they all pretty much consistent that they're about $80. Now, I have been told that in Canada and in Europe they increased the price of electronics for some reason. So there is a possibility that the US controller might be around $70 and not quite $80.
I mean, I did ask Saggy Melons about it because I was thinking she might have some extra information that I needed, and she said she thought it was a pair for $80, which would make sense, honestly speaking.
I don't think it would because, from my understanding, a lot more of the electronics, a lot more of the stuff is in the controller than so much in the console and the base. So I think that's the actual more expensive part of the whole system. And $40 each, that would be really, really cheap. And the listing does say one controller. Plus, like I said, all the other sites, the Argos, Saturn, the foreign sites, they're all listing it at about $80 American. So it seems pretty consistent that it's going to be one controller, possibly a little more overseas and in Canada because of the way they do things, the pricing. So maybe like $70 here. Now, Tommy did say that they were going to be available in pairs with a charging station. That was the plan. I don't know if that's still the plan, but that was the proposed plan. So that would set you back at least, 2 controllers, $70. We're talking 140 plus a charging station. So maybe somewhere between 160 to $200 for a pair of controllers and a charging station.
I'm going to be the bigger person of. I know a lot of people like Darius are going to make videos, but I'm going to just try. And no offense to anyone when I say this, okay? I'm going to try to be. I'm going to just try and give Tommy Tallarico about a week to explain this, because I think that's very fair.
Yeah, he has been kind of silent on the whole issue. I haven't seen him even mention the listing.
So I'm gonna be a big person here, and I'm gonna give him about a week to explain this, because I think that's all he really needs to explain it, to be honest.
Easy G says, plus, why is Tommy deceiving customers by having 2 controllers in his EB Canada ad? Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. I was wondering that myself.
Well, here's the thing. As far as I know, Tommy and Intellivision, they don't control the ad. The ad is not even complete. I think maybe it was it shouldn't have been live. Maybe someone put it up live on accident.
Yeah, I thought it would be like that myself. I couldn't even find. I looked and I couldn't even find that EB Games ad on there.
Yeah. So I think maybe that there was some sort of confusion, maybe a mistake. Someone put it out too early.
Yeah, and I'm not throwing Ninja Kitty or anyone under the bus here. I'm just saying it. It's just so weird. I don't know. And I'm trying to be a fair person. I really am.
Yeah, and like I said, Beefy says he thinks it's for only 1 controller. Yeah, I think maybe they just didn't have a image of a single purple controller, because all the other ones, they had the images of the white controller, the image of the black controller. They might not have an image of a single purple, and it looks like from the image, it looks like it's actually a cutout of the 2 controllers sitting in the base unit, and they just kind of cropped out the sides.
I mean, the thing is, this is what I know about the Amico, that the different colored ones are more expensive than the black or the white ones because of the special plastics they use. That's what I understand, at least. Again, I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but just that's what I understand.
Yeah, so again, like I said in my video, the purple controllers might be a little bit more than the non-purple controllers, but the Argos had a white controller and Saturn had a black controller, and they were both still around $80 American.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to just wait till they actually post the official ad. That's just the reality of it all.
It says Ninja Kitty says 4 months out and they have console price listed everywhere. Why do they have the price on the official page by now? That's a good question.
That is a good question. It does have you, because I'm pretty sure when the PlayStation 5 went live and the series consoles, they pretty much had the prices for all the controllers of it up.
Yeah, I think I've said this before. I think that Tommy and them, they really need to focus on making sure that the website is 100%. Every time he goes out and does an interview, the first thing he should do afterward, right after, he should go, hey, I just revealed whatever, put it on the website. I just announced this game, whatever, put it on the website. Because there's far information everywhere. It's not centralized like it needs to be.
I'm a subscriber of the Mr. Beefy theory that it's not finished yet.
The console's not finished?
I don't think it's finished. I think I think what they're posting is what they have. I don't think it's finished yet.
Ninja Kitty says it's a placeholder graphic when they add a SKU to the system.
Yeah,
like
that could be.
if you really look at the image, you can kind of see the cradle still in there. It does look like a cropped out image of the two controllers.
I mean, it just really. I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm going to have to just see what happens before I have any further thoughts about it. But I understand why people think this way. I really about it.
Yeah. Pigsy Abacus says Amico is nothing but deception left and right. It can't be trusted. There are no listings in Australia for the Amico. I don't think there will be. From my understanding, Australia is not going to be added to later on, maybe a year. I think Tommy was saying. I know there's certain territories that are not in it. Japan.
Doesn't Australia hate video games?
They do.
I mean, there you go.
Ninja Kitty says, when I worked at EB Games, they put whatever graphic they have when they first add a SKU. The SKU number, the name, and the prices are always correct when first added. Yeah, so it could just be a bad graphic. They just grabbed whatever they had. They only had the render with the tune, and they went with it. What's up, Leland?
Hey, what up? I agree with that. What you said, it does make kind of sense.
Luke Skywalker says this thing isn't launching in October. No way. Yeah, I don't think that it's going to launch in October.
It's never not going to launch in October. There's no way.
Just from the things I know, like I said, the FCC, they still haven't passed FCC compliance as of a day ago when I checked last. They still had the ongoing trademark dispute with Amiga. So there's still things besides the console itself having, being finished in a complete state. There's things outside of that, trademark, the FCC stuff.
Yeah.
So I agree. I don't think it's launched.
It's not finished. It's not finished. It's not finished. It's not finished.
Sing it, say it, whatever you want. It's not done. Lord Rakin says a purple Amico with 4 controllers is $460. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, that's a little expensive. That's a little pricey.
I mean, right now on eBay, you can get an Xbox Series S for around $350.
Wow, I should probably go get one of those. Leland says a controller like that should take a year or so of product testing to make sure it won't break. I think that they actually tested the durability and stuff of it. I think it's more
they supposedly tested it.
Yeah, I think that the issues is the radio signals coming off of it, the Bluetooth and all that.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably worried it's going to launch a nuclear missile or something.
Nah, I don't think that it's powerful enough to launch a nuke. I think maybe, like a drone. That'd be about it.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, so we're going to shift over a little bit. We're going to talk about the...
Hold on. A disclaimer beforehand to all the Homeland Security people listening. I don't have a bomb.
That sounds like something that someone with a bomb would say. I'm just saying.
We're totally cool here,
You got anything to add to this idea before we kick over?
Yeah, I got anything that I'm curious.
I got something to add here.
Well, are you adding anything to this conversation? Or are you just going to
Look,
He's going with the flow.
Yeah.
He's going with the flow.
He's having an Amico day. Yeah, Carl, your mic's getting a little bit weird.
Sorry, there you go.
Yeah, all right. So there was I don't want to call it a controversy. I want to call it more of a kerfuffle. There was a stock photo kerfuffle. Now, I think when, I believe his name is Sam Makivich. I could be wrong. Sorry, Sam. But he pointed out that there was stock photos used in the Intellivision E3 video. Now, that tweet picked up about 600 likes, I think 100 and something to 200 retweets. A lot of people were talking about it. Ended up having some pretty big YouTubers pick it up. They commented on it. I'm sure it's been retweeted by people who then had their tweets retweeted and all kind of things. Now, this caused quite the stir on Amico After Dark. They were yelling, screaming, having big fights. My name got brought up a couple of times, as it does. But
did they mention me?
They didn't mention you, Carl. They mentioned me specifically, and I believe Ninja King.
Darius Truxton. Oh, I'm not famous enough yet. Damn.
Now, you're not famous enough yet. I know it was me like 3 or 4 times. They constantly were name dropping me. But here is the official Tony TGD Amico No Access stance on this whole thing. Now, there is no issue with Intellivision using stock photos. Obviously, this is a practice that many companies do.
BioWare even did it for Mass Effect 3 for the tally photo. That was big news.
It's not a uncommon practice. It's not something that should be frowned upon. It is what stock photos are for. To me, and to the Team No Access, Amico No Access community, what we feel is that at E3 you should be putting your best foot forward. This should be the time when you're not relying on stock images. Stock images are fine for the website. They're fine for articles. They're fine for tweets or something. But when you're out there at E3, the big show, you're on the stage in front of the primetime audience, you should be bringing your A game. You should be bringing live footage of people playing. You should be, no tricks, no description, no smoke, no mirrors. It should be 100%. Throw it out there. Let the fans, let the people see it. And unfortunately, I don't think they did it. They didn't bring it. And that's the real issue. I think that's the issue that Sam had and a lot of other people, Not
Digital Foundry, for example.
Yeah, Digital Foundry. What did Digital Foundry have to say?
Basically, they were being as kind as possible. They liked the idea, but they were not necessarily impressed. And mind you, folks, as I've mentioned to Tony before, the thing is about Digital Foundry.
Why are you to be mad?
The thing is that most gamers, at least the ones in GameFAQs message boards, consider Digital Foundry's words law.
Yeah, they are some pretty heavy hitters. And I think that's what I was saying. Intellivision had an opportunity to put their best foot forward, to get people on board, to get other big YouTubers, people like Digital Foundry, talking positively about the Amico.
Yeah, and look, and I know again that the Amico After Dark people are probably watching. And look, guys, let me just appeal to you here through logic. The Digital Foundry doesn't exactly just make this kind of stuff up for the heck of it. They just don't.
No, I mean, realistically, they were as nice as they could be.
Yeah, I mean, they were super nice about it.
Sugarcoat.
They were being fair as possible. It's not something that they made up. I don't even think they necessarily have anything invested in it and bashing it.
No, I don't even think that it would bring them any extra clicks. A lot of people are under this impression that bashing the Amico is somehow, an instant formula for success. You're going to get extra clicks, all kind of people, attention, and it's really not. I mean, this isn't Nintendo, this isn't Sony or Microsoft or some huge mega company.
It's a new company.
Yeah, so
I mean, kind of.
So bashing it's not really going to get you any attention, any additional attention.
Yeah, it's not like the new say Metroid Dread. And a Canadian gamer gave his thoughts on it. Look what happened. I mean, it isn't like Tommy has that kind of fame. It's like I said, he's not Todd Howard, he's not Kojima, he's not Phil Spencer, he's not Todd
Howard.
Yeah, what have you.
G10118 says these are badly edited stock photos too, and there's no excuse for such low effort media. Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Awful photos. I mean, no one is that happy when they play a game. Give me a break.
Well, beyond just the fake happiness, I mean, they were like, because of the way a controller is being held versus the way an Amico controller is being held, they had to fiddle with people's hands and their fingers.
I mean, it was. I mean, see, Ninja Kitty said it. Like the way they were. Reggie Fils-Aimé was playing with the Wii controller. It would have been more believable if Tommy Tallarico did the Amico controller like that.
Yeah, I think that's what people were expecting. Maybe a short 10-minute video of him playing the game with somebody, demonstrating the motion controls. He could have set up he could have came out, had a little video of him with a cornhole set, playing cornhole, and then the curtain opens up, and now he's playing cornhole on the screen. And, you had that nice little motion control video. But instead, we got about a minute worth of Tommy's history, a couple of seconds of some game footage. It was really, really ridiculous, low effort. And what do you think, Max? Stock photo controversy? Was it a big deal? Was it serious?
I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Just because
I think the new trailer was better.
New trailer.
Yeah,
the new one or the one with
the one they released after the presentation a few days ago. I think that was they should have used that one for the presentation. It was so much better.
Well, the one that Art of Mana, big shout out to the channel. He did a edit of the trailer. He changed the music. He made it more softer, more family friendly. Now, if you look at the video, if you go watch, you'll love it. It's a great representation of what everyone expected the Amico kind of advertisement would be. Everyone in the comments, from the haters, quote unquote, to the people who are fans, everyone agrees that is a much better advertisement trailer for the system than what the actual company's putting out, which is kind of sad in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, it's just a whole bunch of strange.
It says Luke Skywalker says, I was diehard on the Amico side, started slowly debating on if I needed it or not. E3 was a deal breaker for me. It did absolutely nothing to bring me back or make me want one. Yeah, you know what? Here's another thing that the Amico fans, when they were arguing over this stock photo thing, they were also discussing the amount of footage or lack thereof of new footage. Now, one of the points they brought up was that the baseball footage, it was basically the same footage that we seen last year. I'm going to mute you for a second, Cal. So it was basically the same footage that they had last year for the baseball. That nothing changed. It was the exact same. Still had the, early prototype little disclaimer on it. Now, Michael Mullis, he was the gentleman who was raging the most on Amico After Dark. He said that Tommy called him personally after the Amico After Dark. And he said that Tommy told him that the reason that they had the old footage of baseball and Care Bears and all that, the licensed properties, was because they didn't have enough time to get approval for new footage to be added to a trailer or anything, and that they had to just use what they already had approval for. Now, do you believe this? Do you buy this excuse, Carl?
I mean, well, it just so didn't have enough time.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just so.
E3 was not a surprise event. It was something that everyone knew was coming. It was announced. They had said for a while. I think he said at one point they were 3 weeks prior that they were already working on the videos. I don't understand.
That's like Budweiser not being ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. And I was discussing this with Sidekick Max. I said, this isn't, 1994, 1996 or something where you have to like send them an email or you have to send them a package in the mail. They have to watch a videotape on VHS and then, send you a package in the mail back. You could quickly email, say, hey, whoever, MLB, here's a new footage that we got. We want approval if we're going to show it off during E3. An hour later, they hit you back with an email. Use footage from this point in the video to this point, or don't use this footage. Blah blah blah. Whatever they approve, and then you put it in your trailer. I don't, these things don't take that long. I've seen YouTubers, one-man YouTube teams slap together things in 20 minutes that Tommy's saying is going to take them months.
Yeah.
I'm just not buying it. I'm not ready yet. That's extremely unprofessional.
Yeah, I think some people were saying that maybe he ran out of money, that he didn't have enough money to pay developers or to get more work.
Oh, I still believe that.
And I think that could be a possibility that perhaps some of the games that they were working on, they had to stop. Because I know before he had mentioned that they stopped working on certain games to focus on other games. That I know he said that he had developers working on several games at once, and then he would have them focus on one over the other. So there could be a possibility that, whoever started working on baseball, that's as far as they got before they got moved off to something more pressing, something that was going to come out sooner, and they just didn't have any actual updated footage. That was, as much work that they've done. What do you think, Max? No? Yes?
No.
Says Nintendo Rocks Forever says, see you in Discord, Luke. And Balding Bob Ross says, God bless Carl in the house. Carl, did I lose you?
No, I'm still here. I'm just kind of just listening. I didn't really have anything to contribute, But thanks.
Yeah, like I said, it just seems real odd that for him to say these things that, they didn't have time, they weren't ready for it.
Not enough time. How do you not have enough time for that? He should have been ready in the first place. What were they doing? Was he talking about his Ferraris again?
I think that as soon as January, says it's your game, you purchase the license, you have control over it. This isn't 100% true, Beefy. Certain things, we don't have access to the agreement they made. I'm sure that the MLB has some restrictions. They have to approve certain things. Obviously, it shouldn't be as difficult as he's making it sound. It should be, hey, here's the new footage, blah, blah, blah,
And also the stuff you're not allowed to put in your trailer, in your videos.
Luke says, who would Tommy have to get approval from? He's a CEO. Yeah, when he was saying approval, he was talking about from the license holders. Obviously, you couldn't put the, say, the Chicago Cubs versus the Marlins. And you couldn't put them playing football because that would make no sense. So, MLB would be like, no, don't show that. This is ridiculous. Versus actually showing a baseball game, they probably would be like, yeah, that looks good. You know, the graphics are getting better, blah, blah, blah. It's like he's only doing this as a hobby. Yeah, sometimes it does seem like that, you know, that Intellivision is a part-time gig for Tommy. Lord Rakin says the Playdate video was so good, and I don't think they raised $11 million for that. No, I don't think they did, from my understanding. But yeah, you know, as soon as January rolled around, as soon as the new year hit, Tommy should have been planning for E3. He should have been, you know, got all his ducks in a row.
You know, I'll say that.
Go ahead,
I'll say this much. With the way people keep talking about the play date and comparing it to the Amico, they're going to sell that thing out.
Yeah, that little hand crank system, it's weird, but it knows what it wants to be. It's in its lane. It's not trying to get 3 billion casual gamers to play it. No, I think it's going to do real well.
Anyway, you were saying.
So like I was saying, you know, January hit, they should have been planning, preparing. They had just got a new videographer or media video guy. They have a weird name for all their positions. But basically, they hired someone that's supposed to, you know, shoot all the footage, edit it. You know, there's supposed to be a whole bunch of new videos. Yeah, digital media person. And yet, we're seeing the same, you know, like the trailer that they just put out after E3 is basically the old trailer with just some new stuff spliced in, and it seems really low effort. It seems like Ninja Kitty says, like they're running out of money.
Yeah, that's possible.
I mean, it could also be possible that they're not actually running out of money so much as they know that it's pointless to spend money. Like, you know, they've finally come to terms with, hey, we're not launching this year. There's no reason for us to spend, you know, a bunch of money on E3, a bunch of money on trailers. You know, maybe it's, you know, I don't want to say throwing in the towel so much as resigning themselves to this year's over. We're going to focus on next year. For a man who says he sleeps maybe 4 hours a day, how does he not have enough time? Well, I mean, you'll be surprised. I sleep like 4 hours a day, and it, you know, time flies. When you're in Amicoville, time works differently. It's weird around here.
I mean, you know, it's a good thing bookies don't do bet on gaming because they'd lose a lot of money when people start betting on the release date delay of the Amico.
Yeah, we should put some money on that. That would be a surefire bet because
if I gambled, I would. I'm not even joking. And you know, I don't, and I know it sounds like I'm being mean here, but I'm really trying not to. I'm really trying to be not fair, but sometimes it's just certain things just amaze just the crap out of me.
Yeah. And of course, when something goes wrong in Amicoville, it is always my fault. I am the man responsible for all the troubles that have befallen them. I have single-handedly made all the necessary parts they need disappear. I blocked the canal that got blocked. That was my doing.
I mean, you know, everyone knows that the Tommy Tallarico is a member of the Illuminati. I mean, you know, he always has been. You know, that's why he's doing all this stuff, you know, because his Illuminati status and all that. And everyone knows that the Amico was responsible for the UFO crash in Roswell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ninja Kitty says he's 3 months from release. He should have updated MLB footage by now. Yeah, I agree. He should.
He really should have, yeah.
But like I said, I think that they pulled the developers off of it. I mean, that's another thing that a lot of places you'll know who's developing the games. You'll know who's working on what. And when it comes to Amico, they're like really adamant that you not find out who's working on any of these games. They don't want to tell you which studios are working on what.
Kind of dumb.
it's very dumb, Max. And, you know, I had to basically use every loophole, every trick in my book just to figure out who's working on certain games.
You had to use those critical thinking skills.
I did.
In school.
I had to get my cork board out with my red string, start making
your Ouija board.
Yeah. I contacted the spirits just to find out who made certain games, just to find any little bit of snippet of information.
It's going to take the planets aligning for that.
But I think that's anything else happened in Amicoville? Anything else that we need to discuss?
No, I don't think there's. I think that's pretty much it. I think we transitioned into all the topics for the Amico really well.
Lord Rakin says, "Do you even think it's possible for them to launch if they delay again?" That's the $1 million question. Here's once again, we don't know what we don't know, right? Tommy's always saying that they got thousands of people waiting for Founders Edition. They got list of people. They got so many purchase orders, so many pre-orders. I'm not going to say that all that cult stuff joking aside, I'm not going to say anything but what I believe to be the facts, and I don't need some narrative or anything else, because that's always what they say about you, the narrative. But I don't have a narrative. I don't care one way or the other if the Amico fails or succeeds. In fact, Tony has more money invested in the Amico than I do. Yeah, technically.
I mean, if there's anyone here who should care about the Amico doing well, it's him. I don't care about it. It could, it could do really well, and I wouldn't bat an eyelash.
Ninja Kitty says, "I've been accused of being Tony numerous times." Yeah, they must have really, blew a gasket, blew something, because when I had Beefy and Kitty and everybody on here, apparently I bet you they've come to the conclusion that I've hired actors. Carl is not really Carl. I've hired somebody.
It's just an actor.
I've hired people to be in the chat.
I mean, what's really frustrating? Even over here, I still can't get recognition. Son of a bitch.
That's right, Carl. You
I'm
are
still a nobody.
You're just an actor. Carl
Damn.
is a figment of my imagination. But here's something that I wanted to discuss.
Okay.
There has been rumblings of a new event, they had that Texas event that was quote unquote open to the public at the video game museum, but it wasn't advertised. It wasn't announced. No one knew it was going on until after it had already happened. Now there's rumblings of a new one in Pennsylvania.
At the Crayola factory.
Carl says at the Crayola. I believe it's going to be at the Hershey Park. From my understanding, it's going to be at Hershey Park.
As I heard from the big wigs of Amico After Dark that it's at the Crayola place in Pennsylvania.
Well, I heard from my sources that it was originally going to be Crayola, but that they decided instead to go to Hershey Park.
Oh, okay.
But either way, see that's the whole that was the point that I was going to make, is that there's this event that's coming up that nobody knows about, that they're being very, very sneaky about it. They're whispering on the Twitter, and they're whispering to each other, "Oh, it's going to be awesome." Shh, don't say nothing. And it seems really weird.
I think I have an idea of what's going on.
What do you think is going on?
I mean, what if they're using like the natural tourists? What as a driving force for the event? So they know that these places are going to get tourists anyway.
Wait a minute.
Maybe.
Hold on, Carl. Luke Skywalker says, "I've also heard it said that the Amico had something to do with the U.S. 2020 elections." Luke,
Elaborate.
I'm gonna spoil it for everybody. This will probably get the video pulled by YouTube.
Oh God.
Oh
The
no.
Amico actually caused the glitch in the election system. Tommy was testing the Amico out. It accidentally glitched the voting system. That's why President Biden won.
Boy, Donald Trump has got to be majorly pissed off.
I heard he was. He's not buying an Amico. It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen, not at all. Well, I did a terrible Trump impression.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But,
anyway, yeah, it's
So, like I was saying, they got this secret. You would think. I mean, it's not like all the haters are going to jump on a plane and fly down to Pennsylvania to come shit on the Amico, right? I mean, let's. We're all adults. We're not doing that. I'm not doing it. I have a life.
I mean, I think that, like I said, I think they're using the tourists as to do all the heavy lifting. They figure they don't have to do any advertising at all.
To me, I think that they're actually trying to hide what's going on because they're going to have people there at Hershey Park or wherever this ends up being, and I think obviously there will be people who have negative opinions, but if there's nobody there to check it out, if there's none of us there, anyone like us that are going to be critical or record the event or pay attention, then we're never going to know. That he's just going to be able to come out and say, hey guys, we were at Hershey Park and everyone loved it and it was fantastic, and we had moms and kids playing, and they'll record 6 or 7 random people who agree that it was a great system, whereas the 50 or 60 or 5 or
Way of telling me that you're gonna drive me back.
no, we're not going down to Hershey Park.
Okay.
But I mean, there's probably going to be, like at the Texas event. The Texas event makes it sound like everyone who tried the system loved it, and I am sure that there was some people that didn't like it that were like, no, I don't want to play this. Why are you bothering me? I'm just trying to walk through the museum. But we don't get that. We get nothing but roses and sunshine, and I think that's the reason he doesn't make this announcement or make it known, because then people who are actually interested in finding out about the system, people that are interested in reporting, those people won't be there. Someone like Luke, look at Luke Skywalker. He's interested in the system. He's not a hater, but he would go there and he would see what was actually happening, what people actually were saying about it, and he'd come back and tell us. And that's the biggest fear I think Tommy has, is someone actually honestly reporting back what is going on at the event.
I mean, some places advertise and some don't.
Yeah, but Hershey Park itself doesn't have to advertise, but Tommy could be like, hey guys, we're going to be at Hershey Park this weekend, or set your calendars for June 21st.
It could be because he doesn't. He knows he isn't that famous.
So you think he doesn't want people just to ignore it?
Yeah, I think he's just. It could be that he knows he isn't as famous as he says he is, and he doesn't want people to just pass it. I mean, be honest, Max. You hear about this guy who says there's going to be this event and you have no idea who he was. Would you even bother going, wanting to go?
Probably not.
Thank you very much. See, told you.
I was going to say, what I know about the Amico too makes me not want to go anymore.
I mean, I'm just saying that he knows he isn't that famous, probably. And he doesn't want to waste all the money for advertising. He can waste that money for advertising another day.
But I don't think it would have to be necessarily advertising. He could, like I said, just put out a tweet. Hey, guys, mark your calendar, July 21st, Pennsylvania, Hershey Park.
I was going to say, the people who want to see the Amico and stuff obviously follow Tommy.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, like Max is saying, there are people interested that are following him on Twitter, on Facebook or whatnot. And your check, Luke, is next to the 4 parts that the Amico is missing. But there are people following him on Facebook You know, like Beefy says, if he was close, he would go play. You know,
Yeah,
people would
that's
be
it.
interested in going. You know,
I would.
there's plenty of YouTubers. I mean, how many people? There's probably thousands, hundreds of thousands of YouTubers on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And there would at least be a handful of them that live in Pennsylvania that would say, you know what, fuck it, I'll go check this thing out. You know, make a video on it, report. But like I said, I think he's really afraid of someone actually doing that. Someone who is not going to just be a yes man. Someone who isn't under his thumb to go there and say, you know what, yeah, there was people who liked it, but there was a bunch of people who didn't like it. A bunch of kids that said that, you know, they weren't interested. You know, parents who, when they found out it was $250, basically said that they wouldn't buy it.
I mean, anything. I mean, maybe. It's. I don't want to say it's hard. It's a little hard for me to swallow because I did a lot of running around. I did a lot of vacationing when I was younger. So I don't know. I'm just, as someone who fell into that audience, I don't really have. I don't necessarily know if I agree, to be honest. But I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying there would be a bunch of negative people. I'm not saying that, you know, no one's gonna like it. I'm not saying that, you know, anyone extra is gonna show up. I'm just saying that that's his fear. That's, you know, he's under this impression. I think he's paranoid a little bit.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see. Yeah, it's that could be. I got to play Jurassic Park for the Genesis when it was at the. I remember there was some kind of video game thing at the Universal Studios in the Nickelodeon exhibit. You know, it didn't take much to convince me to try it out. So I think anyone will be wanting to play that.
Yeah. Says Ninja Kitty said, well, since Tommy is stuck 20 years in the past, Nintendo used to have buses that would go on tour showing off the GameCube. It would openly advertise and show the dates and locations. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Nintendo wasn't just driving into a town in the dark of night and showing up and getting people to play.
Oh, you mean like the Polar Express?
Yeah. Or like the Wienermobile. He needs to have like an Amico mobile just traveling across the
I
U.S.
can design that.
I mean, you know.
Skywalker says, does Tommy have another video games live show planned? I bet money that would be part of another Amico showing. Actually, there is.
I put money on
it. There is one planned for next year that's going to be in Washington, Seattle, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll get a bunch.
Capital of America.
Yeah, I think that from my understanding, Relic might be from around there, so he'll probably make about 27 videos. Balding Bob Ross says, I heard if you're on the emailing list for the Amico, he's going to pop by your house and do an in-house demo. Door-to-door Amico salesman, I wouldn't put it past him. Kind of like Amway. It says, Texas have a lot of retro gaming conventions. If the event was 100% public, people would have showed up. That's what I'm saying, and I believe that, you know, he is very much afraid that either haters are going to show up and ruin the experience and be mean to people and lie to them and spread misinformation and make everyone's family fun be ruined.
Genuinely, they're just spreading the information they know, which is pretty much true. But haters.
Or he's afraid that, you know, the more he advertises, the more general public might show up, and then he won't be able to control it. You know, if you have 10, 15 people, showing up to the museum, because it was just after COVID, restrictions.
Yeah.
There still wasn't a lot of people there. It's a lot easier to schmooze 15 people versus 50 versus 100. I don't think Tommy has the time.
I was gonna say, because no one knows about it in my circle.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine Tommy trying to go to like 200 people at an event and schmooze them all to make them feel good, to be happy about the system? I think it's. I don't think
he's that kind of person.
Yeah, so I think that a bigger event would like Ninja Kitty, like Lord Raken says, he'd be exposed so fast.
I think these grassroots. I think these grassroots movement events are kind of what would actually help it.
You think so?
Yeah, it's just something like this, a new kid in the pool, so to speak. It just seems that's more likely.
I don't. To me, I don't think this would help. I think the only thing that would really help him at this point is he needs someone like Ryan's Toy World to just play the Amico. I mean, pay Ryan whatever his fee is.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he's got like toys in Walmart and stuff, and oh my god.
How many people are watching these YouTube kids channels? They park their kids in front of these other children playing on YouTube with toys. If they saw some kid on YouTube playing with the Amico, even if it was fake, they'd be telling their parents to buy it, and their parents would buy it.
Yeah, I mean,
now it wouldn't mean that he's going to have he might have good, Amico purchases. I don't think it would lead to good software sales. He'd have good hardware sales, but I think the software would drop off. But I mean, that's the only way I see him having, a hope, a chance. I'd love to see Tommy argue with a 10-year-old, and at the end of that argument, he tells the kid, "Oh, the console's not for you."
My sister's mine. Drag her over here.
Brutally Honest Gamer is there in Pennsylvania. He's been trying to reach out to Tommy about a convention in October, hoping to have an Amico demo there. Tommy still hasn't reached out to him. Yeah, I think Tommy reached out to. Let me mute you for a second, Carl. Tommy's reached out to a few people in the last couple of days. RGT85, Modern Vintage Gamer. They seem to be ignoring him for the most part. I know that they were getting into some slap fights with Amico fans for basically just, having an opinion that they didn't like it or they were confused by some of the things. Beefy says that would be a good idea for Amico to get out there. It would, but like I said, I don't think Tommy can control the narrative if he's out at an actual convention.
Let's see.
Could you imagine at a real convention with real gamers?
A lot of gamers wouldn't look for the Amico, but there'd be the little kids and stuff because parents sometimes drag them there who probably would play it, would beg their parents for it, but Tommy wouldn't do that because, like you're saying, he can't handle that crowd because I know, like, at least with my group, we don't talk very good about the Amico sometimes. We're kind of harsh because we're used to like Xbox and PlayStation, but I've genuinely had some friends be like, this seems cool if they did something about it and they actually had it out there. I don't like being like, hey, my dad's talking about the Amico again. You want to learn about it? It's very awkward.
Ninja Kitty says Tommy doesn't have time to shake 20 controllers to get them working at a busy event. Yeah, I think that's the other issue is that he might not have enough finished, developed units, to demo at a big event. Could you imagine if he was basically like, hey guys, you need to sit and wait because I only got 4 controllers? I think that would make him, lose people. There'd probably be people that would just walk away from the little demo station.
Yeah, that waiting for something like that, it doesn't seem worth it.
Harold says, what if it really is a cult and the Amico is a giant ship powered by Flash Games high scores? Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Says grassroots event won't work unless it goes viral, which it won't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a true grassroots movement. And let's face it, if you're a company doing it, that's not real grassroots, right? It's just fake grassroots.
Yeah.
But you would need to go viral. This thing doesn't, the only way it goes viral is as a meme that negatively. I don't see it going.
Yeah,
I don't see it going viral in a positive manner. What do you think, Max? Can it be saved? Can the Amico be saved?
The Amico could be saved, and very lightly also be saved if you scrap 90% of it.
Max is literally the target demographic for the Amico, so
No, he's not. Max is the son of a hater. He's a
Yeah,
terrible
I'm the
person.
son of a hater.
I mean the age group. I mean from the age group perspective, he is the target demographic.
Well, Tommy said the target demographic was old people from AARP magazine, really, really young people who can't make their own decisions, like 5-year-olds, and moms who walk into EB Games or GameStop and are just looking for something for their kids to play.
Well, yeah. I don't fit the demographic, but
Yeah, I guess so.
Why doesn't the Amico have Ryan's Toys review Endless Rummer on the console? He can't even get the youngest kid. Yeah, he should have. He reached out to Sesame Street and to things that he's familiar with. And this goes to when I was saying before that Tommy's really out of touch with what kids, not just kids, but like what anybody really does nowadays.
Yeah.
He's really out of touch. He doesn't have any of the really popular kids franchises. Care Bears, Sesame Street. That's all old news.
Yeah.
RGT 85 would not really be into the Amico, I'll be honest. He's more or less into old games and the Switch. That's pretty much all he really talks about.
Balding Bob Ross says, my kid has that game, the Ryan Toys Endless Runner. Not terrible, but with all the ads that pop up, it's almost unplayable.
You want a tip for that? I've learned this because I have some games that have ads like that. Put your phone or your tablet or whatever on airplane mode. No ads. You won't be bothered.
There you go, Bob Ross. Put it on airplane mode, and you'll be able to play the game ad-free.
Unless like the game's like, oh, you got to take it off airplane mode, then just don't have the game anymore. Because to be honest, there's no point to it.
Beefy says, well, it needs to be ready to be shown. If it's optimized and if it's production ready, it would be good. Yeah. I don't think it's optimized. I don't think it's production ready. Opaque One says, plot twist, Tony is working for Tommy, and this is a marketing brainstorming event.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish, but no.
Tommy, I know you're watching. I only need like $50,000 a year salary, benefits. You do that, and you can have me. You can sign me up. I'll be on Team Amico. I'll wear this shirt. But since you're not paying me, I'm not going to wear the shirt.
Tommy, I'm a kid. You don't have to hire me. I don't think I will help you fix an Amico.
Lord Rakin says, yeah, fake grassroots is called AstroTurf. Yeah, and that's basically what I called Tommy out on from the beginning. That was the issue that had me and him kind of butting heads from day one, is the AstroTurfing that he was doing on YouTube, trying to make it seem like the comments were all positive, that everybody was loving it, that no one had an issue with the things that were being shown. And as we've seen over the years, Tommy is constantly pointing to the comment section of YouTube. He's constantly saying, look at the like and dislikes.
But no.
Max is an overweight 50-year-old with a beard. Yeah, he's not really my kid.
I had a beard.
He's.
Yeah, I'm not a kid, I guess. I swear.
Max should be the spokesman for the Amico for his school district. Get the Amico out in schools like the yo-yo.
Hey, legit, we have a club that discusses video game consoles and stuff like that. I brought the Amico up to them, and they wanted nothing to do with it. And it was kind of funny. But back to, like, Tommy going through all the comment sections and taking out the bad, like, comments. If you review, like, the negative reviews and the positive reviews, you ended up giving the option to make an opinion about the Amico yourself. Not being able to do that really takes away from, like, the Amico itself.
Yeah, and I think...
Because not being able to form an opinion about it, you're going to be like, well, why am I going to buy it? Because if I don't like it, then obviously it's not for me.
And I think removing some of the negative comments, obviously you want to get rid of the nasty, disgusting comments.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the vulgar ones, and with reason. But
vulgar, that was a big word.
How dare I use a big word?
Yeah, you got to use simple words.
Yeah, I got to use simple words. But even like PlayStation and Xbox, they don't all have positive reviews. There are some negative reviews, but when you look at the negative reviews, you're able to be like, okay, this is maybe something wrong with it that could happen. So it's a console. That's what it does.
Yeah, I think a lot more people will look at a product that has nothing but positive reviews, and a red flag immediately goes off. Like, why is it? This doesn't happen. This is not a thing.
Yeah,
that happens.
Like like Amazon in just general. If I see something with like 500 positive reviews, like one negative review, I'm just automatically like, this is something scammy.
All right. Well, Luke Skywalker says the Pittsburgh Gaming Expo is the event I was referring to. It's in October. Would have been a perfect event if they were really going to launch in October. Yeah, I don't think he's launching in October. I think he knows he's not launching in October. I think the fans know he's not launching in October. I think Tommy needs a partner with Soulja Boy. Yeah.
Funny thing, I actually messaged Soulja Boy one day, and I told him that, you could easily have a higher team to develop your an official Soulja Boy licensed Raspberry Pi machine, and it would sell.
It probably would. I mean, you just slap a rapper's name on anything, and they'll sell.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, is there anything else we want to cover about the Amico?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, we might circle back to the Amico later. I have someone just messaged me on Twitter, said he just woke up. He might pop in to join us later, so we might circle back. It's not a huge YouTuber. He's only got like 200,000 viewers, subscribers. It's a little channel. We'll let him come on anyway if he wants to talk to Amico. But we'll just move on to another topic. Loki, third episode was out. How you feeling about it, Max? You watched it.
I did watch it. I found it good. Some of the controversy, Loki being bi and stuff.
And I shall be right back.
Oh,
all right.
Well, everyone's gonna complain about Loki being LGBT, and people are complaining that like Loki's using more power and that he had an Infinity Stone on him, or he didn't. When you see him use the same power in the movies before, just less, condensed, and it's just very funny to me because everyone's complaining about everything. You can't find one thing right about the new Loki episode, according to most people right now.
Personally, I think the new Loki episode was good. It explored a little bit more about him, his personality. You're seeing him more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Kid?
No, he's more rounded as a character. He's not, evil. He's not good. He has, bits and pieces. He's a complicated person.
He's more human.
Yeah, they are humanizing him a lot more, and I really like that. I enjoy that. Overall, so far, in first 3 episodes, I'm loving it. I like the series. Tom Hiddleston's knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
I love Owen Wilson. He's always great to see on the screen. How do you feel about it overall as a series?
Overall, it seems like a good series. They're taking it very slow, but the way the slow pace is, it seems to be working well for them.
Do you have any theories as to who the big bad is going to be?
I have no idea who the big bad is going to be. I have no theories on that.
Personally, I think that we're going to get a reveal before, so far all 3 shows, we had the Scarlet Witch show, had a nice little reveal. We had a nice little reveal in the Winter Soldier show. So I think we're going to hold to the pattern, and there's going to be a little twist, a little reveal, either in the next episode or in the penultimate episode, where we find out that the Timekeepers are actually going to be 3 versions of Loki. That
could be cool. That actually sounds kind of cool.
So that's my theory, that the Timekeepers are going to be revealed to just be 3 different versions of Loki, and that the whole singular timeline is to ensure that they do not get erased, that they always exist in order to be the timekeepers. Any thoughts on the Loki series, Carl?
I mean, I don't know. I've never been fond of time travel very much, or anything related to it.
You've never been?
Understandable.
No, I mean there are very few exceptions, but generally not so much.
Max's mother simply adores the
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future series. So much so.
I mean, most do.
Carl, you getting booty calls?
That was on my end. I'm just trying to play with something here. Sorry.
It's all right.
I was like, shit, the aliens are coming to get us. But yeah, Max's mom's really in love with the Back to the Future series. I think it's all right. That really doesn't do time travel well. It just kind of plays with its own rules.
I don't like the Back to the Future series. Again, not because it was bad, but because I was forced to watch it.
Many times?
Many times. With Loki series, I don't have problems with it other than like slight costume design. Coming from an artist, like Lady Loki's costume's nice and all, but the way her skin tone is and with the blonde hair, her green looks so like muddy on her costume. And it's very off-putting to me.
Yeah. Personally, I think that the costume is fine. You know, I don't think that it's supposed to be the costume that she showed up in, you know, off the jump. Yeah, off the bat. I think this is the costume that has evolved as she's been hiding and fighting them.
There was just like, there's very small tweaks that would be like, this would make it look slightly better, although it's still good.
Although I do agree, me and Max have agreed on this. The actress that plays Lady Loki, not very attractive. Not attractive. You know, there's a lot of people out there saying that she's very attractive. There's a little fandom almost.
Yeah. Oh, you know what they're doing? And I find this very weird, and it reminds me of Wincest. They're shipping Lady Loki and Loki together. It's in that weird fandom section, but they're shipping those two together, and it's Sansa himself all over again, if you remember that Undertale drama.
These are old people. They probably don't even know what Undertale is.
I'm just saying, it was a big thing everywhere.
Old people.
So, you heard about it.
Yeah, but I heard about everything. I mean,
I was just going off of it. Either way, it was a character, and then the character had a different variation of itself, and people always like, oh, they're going to get into a relationship when...
Shippers are horrible people.
Yeah, they are.
Shippers are the death of any series.
Yep.
They sent death threats, I think, to what the hell's his name? Adam Driver. Adam Driver got death threats from shippers because they didn't have Kylo Ren and what the hell's her name?
What, Rey?
Yeah, Rey. They didn't hook up or whatever in the movies.
That's how bad it is, and it's oh my god.
But Loki and Lady Loki hooking up, that would be weird.
It's just weird. They're the same person in all technicality.
Yeah, they are kind of the same person. But, you know, this whole controversy about Loki being bisexual, I don't understand. Obviously, you know, I've seen a lot of channels, you know, channels like The Quartering, Geeks and Gamers. You know, they all get upset. They're, you know, yelling, screaming, saying how it's, you know, pandering to a certain demographic that doesn't even buy comics. But as someone who's a lifelong Marvel fan, who's
like,
pretty much
a lot of characters that are
pretty much someone who's grown up with the comics, you know, who's a fan of Norse mythology and all mythologies. You know, Loki is, you know, weird. I don't want to say gay or bisexual because, you know, those terms weren't even around.
Yeah, he's definitely fruity though.
Don't say. I don't think you're allowed to say fruity.
I could say fruity. You can't say fruity.
The term politically correct term is flamboyant.
I'm part part of the community. I can say what I want.
Okay, so I think that these people that are claiming to be fans of the comics, claiming to be, geeks, authorities on the subject, they're idiots because
They're like, I love it. It's so
in
funny.
Norse mythology, first off, Loki turned into a horse, a female horse.
Female horse.
Got it on with another horse and
Got pregnant.
And had a baby horse, which now
8 legs.
With 8 legs and Odin rides that horse. That's Odin's personal steed. I mean, that's how weird Norse mythology gets. It gets freaky, So the idea, even in the comics, Lady Loki is a thing. It's been a thing for years.
Yeah.
Loki himself
said he is gender fluid in the comics.
Before Loki became Lady Loki, like when that was an actual version or character, whatever, there was characters, Loki in like what ifs or like alternate dimensions. He would be female, and that was it. There's no explanation. It would just be female. No one cared. It's like in the last 10 years, people are they're just really mad about it. And I heard people complaining that Loki's not gay enough, that he should be pansexual instead of bi, because if you're pan, you're biphobic. If you're bisexual, you're panphobic. We're not getting into that. But I'm super straight myself, so let's
look, I don't support super straight. It's dumb to me. And no.
G10, he says, I don't know anything about any of this.
I think the term is hyper hetero.
I like that better than super straight. But
all right. Let's rein it in a little. I think we're getting a little off track here.
I would just like to say, super straight, I would be okay with it if it weren't for the people weaponizing it for their transphobic agenda and everything like that. But people should be pushing to have Deadpool be pan as it's in the comics. But,
is it?
Yeah, he is. He's.
I don't read the Deadpool. I hate.
I know
Deadpool.
You don't like Deadpool, but he is pansexual in the comics, and everyone's like, "Whoa."
Let me just say something real quick. Max knows I hate Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yet he bought me a Deadpool shirt.
Yeah, I did. It wasn't my fault. Okay, it wasn't my fault.
Whose fault was it?
Grandma's. It was your mom's fault. Okay, because I was like, Dad doesn't like Deadpool, and she was like, no, get it for him anyways. He probably does like it. He just said that. She's the same person who told me not to buy my father a specific pair of pajama pants.
Tell him what it is.
It was Golden Girls pajama pants. He would have worn it with pride.
I almost had for Father's Day Golden Girl pajama pants, and my mother told Max not to get them.
Yep. They were like $5 too.
I could have been walking around with.
I mean, everyone loves Golden Girls.
I love it. I'm not. It's not even any like.
Skit.
I'm not. Yeah, it's not a joke. It's not a skit. I do like the Golden Girls. I would have been. I had Rose and
they had all
Blanche, all of them on there. Sophia. What the hell is B. Arthur's character's name?
I don't know.
Either way, I would have had it. I like the Golden
Dorothy.
Girls.
Her name is Dorothy.
See? Carl likes the Golden Girls too. Look.
I've watched many a show, many a Golden Girl episodes. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Yeah. Confirmed Carl is time travel.
I saw on here earlier someone said Loki was like kind of a bad character. Or just boring. I feel because like Loki's not really a villain, and he's not meant to be like that.
I don't see.
I mean, yeah, I don't like Loki. I think he's a lame character myself.
He is kind of lame.
I see no. Beefy says I see no issue with the Loki thing. What is funny is I didn't think anything about it until someone pointed out to me that people were upset about it.
Yeah, it kind of seems like it's not that big of a deal. They didn't, make it like 90% of his personality after it happened. It was just a, hey, this was supposed to sneak in. You get your little bit of representation, and you go with it.
Opaque one says, "Lo, are you attracted to older women, you guys?" Max's mother was 4 years older than me. Okay, so the answer to your question is no. I do not like older women.
He's like every British guy. He likes him 18 and younger.
Whoa, Carl. Whoa. They don't do that here.
I mean, Britain 16's the.
Sorry.
I know, but.
It says, Bowling Bob Ross says, is it just me or is Loki just a crappy villain?
Because he's not supposed to be a villain nor a hero.
He is bad at villainy.
He is. But if you think about Loki, Loki's been through a lot, so he doesn't have the clearest of mind to be a villain. He also has
villains don't. Okay, whoa. Hold on a minute. Some bad. You don't have to have a clear mind to be a bad guy. Our history proves that.
Ooh. Go ahead, Carl. You got the floor. Nothing? Okay.
Okay. As I was saying, Loki doesn't make a good villain because he doesn't villain because he wants to, but he feels like he has to in a way. He's been outcast his whole life. And coming from a person who does this myself, you're like, people see me like this anyways. Might as well become good at it, but you're not really good at it.
Yeah, that's why Max doesn't do any of his homework.
Yeah, it was a serious problem.
Anyways,
moving
on to what Ninja Kitty says here. It says, Geek Getaway, not even a sassy lady like Blanche. I'm going to tell you what, Ninja Kitty. I like Sophia the best, okay? She was the oldest one on the Golden Girls, but she was the funniest. And if I was going to hang out with any of them, it would be with her. Then after that, Rose, because she was dumb and you could just like trick her to do anything.
Wow.
No gilfs. No gilfs.
Oh.
Anything else to say about the Loki series?
No.
We kind of get off track here. We
went from Loki to me going off about the costume design. Like, I'm an artist, okay, so I go more for here's what they could have done to make the costume slightly better or just the scenery better. But no one wants to listen to that.
No. Apparently there's no comments saying they want to listen to that.
Yeah, no, I wasn't waiting for comments. I was stating a fact.
Okay, so the last bit of agenda that we had, the last little item that I wanted to talk about was I seen a video by Wrestling with Regret talking about the best manager and wrestler pairings. Now, so I want to get Carl's opinion. Who is your favorite wrestling manager, Carl?
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman. Why is Paul Heyman your favorite?
I mean, come on here. That guy looks perfect for the role.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. He's such an asshole. And, he's perfect. That's why he's my favorite.
For me, it's got to be a toss-up. Jim Cornette, I mean, I don't like the guy outside of wrestling, but him being a manager, him being the little chicken shit mama's boy, always running his mouth, hitting people with a tennis racket. Like Carl says, he's the perfect asshole. Someone that you just hate. You just want to see this guy and his wrestlers get their ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about wrestling is that it's a story. And let's be honest, it's not a sport. It's a story. It's basically theater. It's theater with athletics. That's what it is.
I agree. It's a male soap opera.
Exactly. It's the people who came up with it are the people who hated General Hospital. That's all I'm saying. My favorite wrestler of all time is Sergeant Slaughter, then Hulk Hogan.
Did you like Sergeant Slaughter when he sold out and became the Iraqi sympathizer?
I didn't watch wrestling at that time. I became a fan of Sergeant Slaughter because of G.I. Joe.
I remember when that came out and everyone was like so hyped up to see Sergeant Slaughter in the G.I. Joe movie.
I've heard about Sergeant Slaughter being an Iraqi sympathizer because he explained the whole thing when on radio one day.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
it's nothing to take seriously. It's just entertainment. I don't expect them to be who they say they are. I mean, I'm totally cool with them being fakes. That's fine. I don't care.
It is like I said, Jim Cornette's my favorite because chicken shit mama's boy. You want to see him.
He's got the best wrestling managers are assholes. That's all I'm going to say about it.
But my second favorite has got to be hands down Sunny from the WWF. Because, oh my God, she was the hottest woman in the 90s. Screw you if you think I'm wrong.
I can't add on to this.
Max doesn't know who she is. He hasn't seen her. But, oh my God, she was smoking hot. Everybody, she looks like shit now. She did all kind of drugs, and she's horrible looking right now. But, oh my God, in the late 90s, there was no female hotter. I think at one point she was the most downloaded female from the internet.
I thought Pamela Anderson was the most downloaded woman.
She was, like I said, at one point. Because at one point, Terry Hatcher was the most downloaded woman. And then people stopped downloading because, we got faster internet. But Sunny was hands down. She was hot. And she was kind of a bitch. So, she had that whole asshole thing going.
Like you said.
But I mean, what Max doesn't like wrestling. He thinks that it's silly and ridiculous. Anything to add?
I mean, I don't watch wrestling much. I don't watch wrestling anymore. But I mean, come on. Most guys, I have this theory that most guys want to be an athlete, have been an athlete. So basically, have been an athlete, are an athlete now, or want to be. And I think it's kind of the same with wrestling too. Most guys are into wrestling or want to be a wrestler or have been.
Myself included, because I did at one point want to be a wrestler. I think I would be a really good, at the very least, manager, because I got the whole asshole thing down. People just hate me.
Oh, people love to hate you. They write stories about hating you. Yeah, I do agree with that.
So
I don't see why they hate you so much. I think you're a likable guy.
I think they hate me. What do they say? They hate us because they ain't us.
I think you're a cool guy. I mean, when I was talking to, yeah. I keep my distance when it comes to people on the internet. My defenses are always on, no matter who they are, yourself included. That's because of I don't hold as much care about the internet, though.
Yeah.
Or I try not to.
Let me get to this comment by Ninja Kitty real quick. It says,
okay.
Sunny did slim down when she started her OnlyFans. But it's too late by then, Ninja. It's too late. She had got really fat, really drugged out, disgusting. So, I mean...
Yeah, like Madonna.
Yeah. Another female that I liked from the 90s was Daphne. She had that whole goth thing going on. But
they were Scooby-Doo for a moment there.
No. That Daphne too. Like when I was younger, I like redheads. There was always hot redheads in the cartoons. Daphne.
She wasn't temperamental enough to be a redhead in the cartoon.
But yeah, Daphne Unger from WCW. I always thought she was hot. I always thought she was very attractive. Once again,
talk about. Do the cult talk about? I got to tell you, usually when they talk about the cult or whatever, and I did this to some extent, it was really only about Tony or Darius. They really, I mean, it's me. I could take it or leave it. I mean, I'll admit I love skulking. I love skulking. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it. I'm not like a lot of people who think it's a. And let me tell you, most Amico fans stalk, or spy as much as the people they hate.
I mean,
I don't do that though. I'm like the chapter president.
I don't consider what I do skulking so much as because I'm very open and honest that I'm going to watch your content. I'm going to listen to things. I will point out the silly stuff you say and do because at the end of the day, that keeps me entertained while I'm working.
I mean, it's not so big of a deal, if you skulk, though. I mean, like people just get unnecessarily emotional about, like teenage girls.
Yeah. Pigsy says the best is Stacy Keibler, hands down, no argument there. Stacy Keibler had a very attractive backside.
Love me some Stacy Keibler.
She had nice long legs, but she was a little flat up front. And
that's all right. That's all right. The surgery can fix that if she really wanted to. So, if she didn't, that's okay.
Ninja Kitty says they apparently do have a Discord. Someone leaked a few things to me, and it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see that.
Oh, there is definitely a Retro Bro Discord. There's a Cyrus Discord, too.
Yeah, I know about the Cyrus one. I was kicked out of that one for not being positive enough back when they were trying to convert me or talk to me or at least.
The thing about Cyrus is he's kind of like the guy who really doesn't like fighting or negativity or anything. He's, he just wants to get along with people. And I respect that.
Yeah,
I really don't have any criticisms. In fact, he was talking about quitting YouTube a year from now, and I'm like, I'm still kind of disappointed. I mean, if he's having trouble finding games, he just has to find games to play. But it's he likes to get along with people, and he hates fighting and.
I've had a rocky relationship with Cyrus. He's another one of these people that do this skulking, and he makes a lot of little comments and quips about me specifically and others, and then he gets really offended and really upset when you call him out on it or if you say something about him. Like, I'm sure he's seething just at the idea that we're talking about him. So,
I mean, I'm trying to be nice when I talk about him, but I mean, I don't really dislike the guy. I like him, liked him a bit. I mean, it's a shame they took Retro Bro's side in all this instead of just confronting me. And that's what Saggy did. I talked to Saggy recently. We get made up, and she confronted me about the stuff I said, which, I mean, that's a long story. But I mean, I'm going to give her credit for that. She confronted me about it, and I wish they'd at least do that, And even Retrobird did confront me, even though we didn't get anywhere. So, but I mean. I wish that Geeks with Cash, Cyrus, even Rab would at least confront me, say you said these things or whatever, but it's there. It is what it is.
All right, so I think that's about wraps it up. Unless we want to keep talking about hot wrestling women. So we're gonna throw it to the chat for some Q&A.
Yeah,
anybody,
come on, guys.
You got any questions? Anything you want to know? Any topics you want to discuss? Just let us know. Hit us up.
Yeah, come on.
Max is over here playing Tetris, so he will be happy to know
which version of Tetris?
Some weird bootleg.
It's an online mobile game.
Okay.
You have your leaderboards and everything.
You'll be happy to know that the guy who brought Tetris to the U.S. he works at Amico. Does that make you want to buy one now?
No.
No, it's not Tetris 99. It's just some mobile game.
Tetris Effect is better.
Well, it's because it's got a different.
Love me some Tetris Effect. I'm just really bad at it, and it scares the crap out of me.
It's being dumb. You can say yes, being dumb.
No, it's not. It's just Tetris?
Yeah, it's an official licensed game.
Is it officially licensed?
Yeah.
So it's an official version of Tetris. It looks a little different though. They're like solid. They're not like.
It's because it's a different theme. You can unlock themes with how high of a score you get.
Do you have to pay?
I think you can remove ads and that's about it. They got a shop. Let me see.
So this fun little mobile game, but would you play that if it was on Amico?
Maybe.
Oh.
I like Tetris.
You like Tetris?
I love Tetris.
I like Tetris, but I'm really bad at Tetris.
It's basically Tommy trying to get people to block. Oh yeah, well, whatever.
Here we go. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. Not really. It's basically Tommy trying to get people to block me on Twitter and to hate on my recent videos that suddenly got a ton of views.
I mean,
I know. I think it was Ninja Kitty's video that got like a couple thousand views. So Tommy's probably really upset about that.
That's kind of one of the reasons I started posting my videos on Twitter.
Wrong one. Pigsy Abacus says, I'm trying to muscle through Dark Alliance. Super disappointed with its outcome.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. I don't want to talk about that.
Bundles and, like power-ups and stuff for online.
Oh, man. I did a video about this. I hate tutorial prisons. These little sections in a video game where they lock you in until you do all the stuff that they want you to do. Can't we just play around with the controls and experiment?
Give me an open world game with that. I hate that. I hate that, and especially when it's a game that's supposed to be like, you're supposed to figure it out yourself, but then they're always like, let me lock you in this tutorial real quick.
Oh, I mean, I'd rather figure the tutorial out for myself. I mean, at least the ones for the Yakuza games really are not that bad. But just the one for Dark Alliance was really awful because they don't give you objectives at the left or the right upper side of the screens. It just, and I'll tell you something. I played one of the thing that I really hated about that game, and I said to myself, no magic users.
What?
No magic using classes, no mages, no sorcerers, no warlocks, nothing.
That's a Dungeons and Dragons game, right?
Yeah, they say it's a Dungeons and Dragons game, but they give you rangers and fighters and barbarians as a class choices. Can you believe that malarkey?
I'm shocked. I was interested when I heard about it, but I haven't really looked into it. But I guess.
Yeah, it's just, and the map was the thing is that I played the original Dark Alliance games before, and they have this map that you can click or whatever and look at. You can't even do that here. It's like a hub world. So you go and you select your mission, then you go all the way to the exit, and that's how you go. It's really disheartening. Thankfully, I played that bitch for free, so I didn't lose any money at all.
So Carl is giving it a thumbs down for Dark Alliance.
I'm giving it thumbs and toes down hard.
It says G10118 says, would it actually run at a playable frame rate on Amico? It's talking about Tetris.
No. Oh, Tetris. Yeah, it would run. It would depend on the version, but basically, yeah, you could get Tetris to run on the Amico. It's not that hard.
Ninja Kitty wants to know if the other guest is joining us tonight. He had just woken up when he hit me up on Twitter. So,
waiting.
Yeah, we're waiting. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to name drop anybody in case he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
That's sensible.
But I will show Max. You can confirm that I'm not talking out my ass, right?
There is someone here.
And can you confirm that there is a 400,000 plus subscriber YouTuber that I'm also talking to about getting on the show?
Yes.
Okay. So that's real. I have not paid you or
no, I'm not getting paid for this.
Okay.
I didn't get paid for my art.
Defense is Drizzt.
No, the other one.
I don't give a flying fuck if it's about Drizzt. The game is still garbage. He's not even my problem with the game. In fact, I picked Drizzt. It's just everything else that leads up to it. The way you get into missions and the way even the button mapping was terrible. I played this and I thought, this isn't a Dark Alliance game. What is this garbage?
Carl, you seem really upset.
Oh, man. I can get pretty ragey when I want to. Bunch of bullshit, that's what it is. I played around with those buttons and thought, what the hell is this?
I'm going to have to put a disclaimer on the front of this video. Carl's letting them...
oh, man. It's the same crap with the Intellivision Amico, damn it! They're doing the same stuff that they're doing with Earth, that Tommy is doing with Earthworm Jim. They're just using the franchise that everyone likes, and it's going to be hot garbage.
Understandable.
Yeah. Sorry.
Take a breather, Carl. Take a breather. Says Bisco wants to know, have you explored how the Amico leaderboard system might have safety problems? If I win Astro Smash Player of New Jersey for 2020, is that displayed publicly? Seems risky. We have very little information.
Be right back.
All right, we have very little information as to how it's going to work, whether you have to use your real name, whether you create an account with just a throwaway name, whether or not people can see you.
That, and how long is it going to be before people are dishing out like the leaderboard things?
Certificates?
Yeah, the certificates.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah. It's
you can change it.
What I want to know is, are they going to have certain words being blocked off? Like, because anybody who signs up
on the leaderboard.
Yeah, you put stuff on the leaderboards. You want to put curse words and horrible stuff, and you want to you want to put the gamer words, if you will, just because they think it's funny.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is. So I mean, could you imagine family-friendly Amico, and then the complaints by parents? Look at this leaderboard filled with nasty words.
I mean, I wonder if it's going to be like Phantasy Star Online. You ever play that game?
No, I haven't.
Well, okay, so in that game, you cannot say words like shoes and basement.
What?
I'm not joking. You couldn't put the certain normal words together because, they have shoes, hose, basement,
Oh, yeah. Roblox and stuff does that too. You got to be very specific with those types of things. It's very...
yeah.
It says...
Not like Club Penguin. Club Penguin didn't censor out anything.
Opaque one says, parents won't allow kids to give their location. Yeah. it's true, but I think the parents are going to set it up. They probably won't even know. They won't even realize that this thing is going to be posting their location. They're just thinking they're putting it up for whatever.
I would like to think the kind of people who are buying the Amico are probably locking it down hardcore for their children.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pigsy says it's a disappointing game, Carl, but don't have a heart attack about it.
The problem I have is that Dark Alliance is just like every other game and that's what makes me mad. And I thought it was going to be good, so thankfully I did not spend a dime on it. I
think Carl's just playing it up for the audience. He's just...
No, I'm not.
I was giving you an out, Carl. I was trying to help you, okay? But, I know how Carl feels. Yeah, I know how Carl
I love
feels.
to be mad. I love rage, though. Rage to me is the most human emotion.
Yeah, I'm the same way with the Marvel game, the new Avengers game.
Which one? Oh, yeah. I knew that game was going to tank hardcore. I said something. I thought something like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is going to be better, and it was better to some degree.
Yeah, I mean, it really aggravates me. The end game is very bad. The characters, there's not enough variety. There's not enough.
You have a Nintendo Switch, right?
Yeah.
Get yourself Ultimate Alliance 3. It's much better.
I will put that on my list. I can't buy a game yet. I haven't cleared off.
Yeah. That's right. Sorry I forgot about that.
You're like 400.
Oh, we got a guess. It's not the guess we were waiting for, but we do have someone popping in. It is the Ninja Kitty.
Hey, what up?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I'm using a really janky connection here, so I'm hoping it doesn't cut off.
Oh, no, hopefully you should be good.
No,
I have a question.
Yeah, okay.
I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
Was this last week the absolute worst week for the Amico in taking a PR? And I'm talking about in taking like a PR hit. It seemed like last week was everyone was just ganging up on them, just from everywhere.
Giant Bomb, Digital Foundry, the chat room in E3,
Ars Technica writer,
Ars Technica, and I've seen them a few times, so I know that's.
Well, even just on Twitter there with was it RGT85 and the modern vintage gamer. Those guys
I don't subscribe to RGT's Twitter channel. I like him for his YouTube videos, so that's interesting.
It just seems like last week was they just took a serious beating.
Yeah, well,
I almost felt bad.
They put themselves out there with E3. Like I said, they had a less than best.
I knew RGT85 would not be into the Amico. It's not his kind of. If you watch his videos, you know automatically what kind of games he likes to play and what kind of systems he likes.
It just seemed everything went wrong for them this week.
Oh man!
And I think that the Tommy really needs to go and have a discussion with his friends because they really don't understand how this works. You don't go and attack Ars Technica writer. You might not like what he said. You might think that he's full of shit and that he's a terrible person, but you don't put that out there publicly. You don't go on Twitter and start, tagging Ars Technica in tweets to try to get him in trouble. That's not going to end well.
The Ars Technica writer, 50,000 American dollars, he could probably get Tommy Tallarico in a quicksand pit or something. Not saying he would. I'm just saying, knowing how things work in this day and age.
Well, I've mentioned it before. Sam, I can't pronounce his last name. He goes on Victor Lucas's show quite once in a while, and so that's where I know most of his materials from. And he's not a guy who backs down from a challenge based off his personality. So that's why I'm like, you don't want to push that guy too much because
he's an Ars Technica writer. It's like, it's like digital, it's like gaming, it's like technology royalty there.
So not that it will really matter, because since the console is targeting senior citizens and 5-year-old kids, and Ars Technica is geared towards techie people
real people,
real retro gamers and whatnot, but it's just a battle that I don't think it was too wise for them to, try to pick.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. In my opinion, not only was it bad because they're not really their audience, their supposed audience, but I think also because of I'm trying to be very careful with my words here because everyone loves to, throw around the lawsuit word, but there's been a lot of questionable things that have been said and done in regards to the Amico advertising and public videos. So I think getting someone like the Ars Technica writer or Frank Cifaldi or any big name to really put eyes on this thing, I think that's a bad idea to get them pissed off at you, because they will dig deep and they will see the things that we've called out, and they'll do it on a much grander scale.
I've noticed Sam has followed up. He has followed up on Twitter and also on the subreddit too. So I know they have much better and bigger stories to write, but it's definitely gonna be on the back of his mind. So
yeah, that's no.
Yeah, and
Tommy needs to realize that everyone has the right to their opinion.
And getting back to just getting their butts kicked the last week or so. So I put up a couple of those videos, and the giant bomb one. A lot of eyes have seen that video now, and like I'm not curating the comments at all. Like pretty much anything goes, and it's like 99%. Everyone's agreeing with them and thinks the system isn't good. So, and it's other places also. Just everywhere you go, it's not even a 50-50 thing. Like even with like Playdate, there's some people who are, question it because it is, kind of a high price for a novelty item. But at least there's like a mixture of positive and negative. But with the Amico, it's like 99%. It's bad. Like this. And unless it's all Tony's alt accounts at the same time, and he has thousands of them.
People want to go and not buy the Amico, not at all.
It's a good song there.
I would like to say that I am a professional ventriloquist, and music voice. I'm actually throwing my voice into the other room, into the microphone over there. Bisco says, I think he's an editor too, not just a writer. Yeah, Sam M. We'll just call him Sam M. He is a writer and an editor for Ars Technica.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. Like when him and Victor Lucas, if you ever get a chance to watch them, it's highly entertaining. And like I said, he's not passive. So if they actually were to pick a fight, he'll eviscerate them. Like it's just not the right person to do that with.
I mean,
it's not really. I think Tommy's backed down after the initial bit, but our friend the relic, whatever his name is, gamer, hunter, whatever he is, it's just stooges like that keep pushing it is just hurting the system and hurting the brand more than helping them out. So
yeah, I think Michael Mullis's rant.
Yeah, that guy too.
The thing is, I mean, what bothers me about Michael Mullis is that he claims to, I think I heard him, I mean, he sounds, a lot of the people there sound like really down-to-earth people. And that's it just, yeah.
Exactly. That's a nice way of putting it, Carl. I'll try to put it in much. I'll say this: A lot of those people are just easily misled. I'll go with that.
I don't, and it's just.
Well, here's what I'll say. I believe that a lot of those people are being told things that are, quite frankly, incorrect and not true about us and about others. So they get very upset, very angry. And that's why a lot of this.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There was at one point, one of them had said, I believe it was Cyrus. He said that basically either myself or someone associated with me was trying to hack into Tommy's bank account, which I can say that this is completely ridiculous. I've never done such a thing.
I don't think you have the skill set, to be honest, if I'm right about you.
Anybody who does stuff like that is a scumbag. Okay.
Let me tell you something. Years ago, during high school, I tried to get into creating computer viruses, and you know what I learned? I learned the tool set they use is good grief, too complicated for me.
Yeah.
It's just too. I never. Now, mind you, never did anything with, but it's just, it's not easy to do.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like I'm saying.
I can't speak for everyone else here.
I mean, okay, whatever.
Is it my time to do then? Try to.
I'm not judging. I
have better things to do my time than try to infiltrate other people's lives.
Burned by Carl. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I agree, Ninja. I got way too much things going on to try to hack into anyone's account or do anything nefarious. Again, and anyone that tries to do that is not associated with me. They're not my friends.
Yeah.
That said, there is, I've had my accounts, people send you phishing emails. The other day I got a fake PayPal email, hey, your account's, under suspicious review. Click this link and we'll fix it for you. So, I mean, I don't think that Tommy and anybody's doing that to me. And I think that, possibly someone who's not really good at the internet, like Tommy.
It's a Nigerian prince.
Yeah, I think, Tommy might have clicked on something wrong or exposed himself to a virus or something. It has nothing to do with us, but he's so paranoid and so convinced that we're trying to destroy him in his dream that, he sends that out and tells people that we're doing this.
I mean,
they run with it and they build up this anger.
Now, so I did want to answer one comment here that someone made. Years ago I did get some A+ training, so I could do enough damage to a lot of the older computers if I wanted. Because, honestly, where the DOS is concerned, any idiot can wreck that.
Yeah, Mr. Beefy says never click the link. It says Nigeria.
Never click the link. It's exactly right.
The hater folder. Love it.
The Nigerian prince in the hater folder. But see, here's the thing. I could, if the Intellivision company is in as dire straits as we believe, I could easily see Tommy getting an email, hey, I want to invest in your company, or hey, there's an investment opportunity, and him clicking the link. And then
hey, did I ever tell you what I used to call the Atari VCS? I used to call it the Nigerian prince of video game scams.
Yes, but we all know that Pat and Ian will be the
they actually released it, so it wasn't a scam at all. So I was wrong, but I heard that it was it came with crypto coins, which made me suspicious. So.
Sega Snatcher, you now owe Tommy 25 cents.
Royalty.
Yeah, royalty fees. I know you still got to pay Roblox, right? Roblox still?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, Max is still here. I have not killed him yet.
It's real.
I thought Max was just your voice being thrown to the other room. I'm so confused.
Yes, Lord Raken, the VCS is real. You're absolutely right. That's why I was wrong.
Ninja Kitty, my alternate Yeah, you're right. I'm throwing my voice 3 ways. I got Max, you, myself.
Yep. Definitely.
No, but
and if the Amico fans have a problem with us, it's your fault.
and I will say this: if there are any Amico fans watching this right now,
There are.
hit me up on Twitter, DM me, send me a DM. I will give you the link, throw you a spot on here. We'll have you give your side of the story. Have you tell us why we're wrong, what misinformation? Because I get that a lot. They tell
And
us.
I am, we're extremely open-minded. In fact, we have pro Amico discussions all the time.
Yeah, they tell us all the time that myself, people like Ninja Kitty, that we're spreading misinformation. And when we ask them point blank, what is misinformation? What is it that we said that is incorrect? Tell us, and we will correct it. And they swear at us, and then they leave.
I mean, it's
It's the lies.
Get
The lies when
relic.
I use screenshots of real web pages. That's
Yeah.
the misinformation. When I take a screenshot and show this is the price and this is how much it is showing if I was a customer to buy, that's me lying apparently and spreading misinformation.
I mean, even if they don't believe you, all they have to do is just look it up on the on a search engine, and you found it. I found one of the European sites, and
Well,
I couldn't.
the theory is that
find-
Tony has created a clone of EB Games Canada webpage, and he's made a whole webpage, bought the domain from the real EB Games, and has staged this because that's what he does in his spare time.
But I'm
yeah.
also very poor. Apparently, I am extremely rich.
Not as poor as me, man.
Yeah.
The Relic Gamers says I'm jealous because I'm broke and because I live a life of being dishonest. What else did he say here? He's mostly mad because I said I laughed at him for spending $1,000 to go to the Texas game event, and that kind of triggered him. So
I mean,
I live in my parents' basement. I'm broke.
the thing,
He knows all this stuff about me.
The thing about him that really put me off at first was the way he tried to hijack. It felt like he was trying to hijack my comment section in one of my old YouTube videos.
Oh, Relic Gamer, he will just keep hammering
And
the same stupid point
that's
over
how
and over again.
And mind you, I'm saying that's how it felt to me. In case anyone starts getting mad because they think I said liars, and no, that's how it felt to me. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying that's how it felt to me.
Well, we all know that the only people's feelings that matter are the Amico fans, because we are evil. We hate it. We want to destroy family.
We lie, which by the way, folks,
not bring families together.
Which by the way, folks, I have a 3 rules to lying. Okay, so I rarely ever break them. Yeah, number 1, you never lie about anything big. Number 2, you keep your lie simple. And number 3, you never spend that much time creating your lie.
Yeah.
That's deep, man. I live by another rule. I just don't lie, and I just tell it how it is, and people just get mad at me.
I lie. I mean, sometimes, but generally, I do tell the truth more often than not.
Sega Snatcher says, I want Tony to have a conversation with Retro Bro. Like I said, I'll say it again. If he wants to get on the show, I invited him on the show. I said, come on, come down. We'll have you on.
He does not. He doesn't like you, and he is mad because of the stuff I said about him. But I mean, here's the thing. That's how it felt. That's how it felt to me. All that stuff. That's why. To me, it's all truth.
I mean,
now I was wrong about Saggy. That was, to her credit, I was really wrong about her, but. Retro Bro, those were my feelings. They still are, So, yeah. I mean, and Retro Bro should accept your invitation. I got to be honest. It's not, this is a live broadcast. It's not like Tony can just just cut out what he says, unless he mutes him or whatever. I mean,
yeah, but you could see that if I mute somebody, it shows up that they got muted.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if Retro Bro or Retro Advisory Board or any one of them want to come on, they want to do it one-on-one.
Saggy isn't toxic. I mean, I don't think she is, at least.
If they want to do it 1-on-1, 2-on-1, if they want me to kick Carl and Ninja Kitty off the panel while they come on and have a discussion just with me, whatever they want to do.
I'm okay with that. I keep saying that if you have something better to do than talk to me, go for it. I'm not going to be mad. You just don't bullshit me.
No, like I said, Carl, you're here because we want you to be here. I'm just saying that if that would make them comfortable in that moment.
Infatuated with. Well, she's friends with him, and I'm not going to fault her for being friends with Tommy Tallarico, okay? It's not right to tell people who they can and can't be friends with. If she wants to be friends with them, more power to her, and I'm not going to poo-poo on her friendship.
There you go. And that's, we don't need to poo-poo on anybody. I mean, unless you're into that, but that's, that's a whole nother thing.
Oh my God.
Shut up. No one asked your opinion, child.
I mean, come on, Pigsy. Let's be a little nicer, okay?
Yeah, like I said,
I don't think you have to write that. It's pretty transparent. Everyone's personalities when people are watching these YouTube videos. Like, it doesn't take much to, like, as much as I bug Relic Gamer, the bits I've seen of him, you get a good idea of who people really are, and that's why going back to, I haven't really watched a lot of Amico things after darks, but when Carl was on there, I pointed out saying that guy is the only genuine person on that podcast, because everyone else is just trying to follow the I won't use cult as a word, but it's kind of like the script, you can tell they're being disingenuous, but Carl was being honest and genuine. That's why I pointed that out. So all those guys and like Retro Bro, and I think he made a video a month ago or whatever, and he's trying to be funny or whatever. He was in his vehicle saying, "Oh, these guys never had girlfriends," and blah blah blah. And like you get an insight of these people's personalities, and they're just very insecure people. So,
and for the record, folks, I've definitely had girlfriends before.
Oh, multiple.
Well, I wouldn't say just the small handful, but I have had girlfriends. And back then I don't. My standard, the reasons I date people are a lot different than most people. I care about more people personality. I've always been like that.
I'll say the same thing.
I've always been about personality.
My wife is beautiful. I'm not sure if she can hear this. They're in the other room.
I mean,
But circling back, the reason why Retro Bro, those other guys aren't coming on, is because they are insecure. Someone in the comments, I think it was Opaque One, may have been a little, I'm trying to think of the word, harsh, but there's some truth in it. They're afraid to debate, because the problem is they can't back anything they say up. So it would be almost like a one-sided conversation, even if Tony's trying to be nice. So that's why they don't go on, because they know it's just not going to end well, because what can they say? It's like, oh, the controller's $100 online. Yeah, they can't. How can you back that up and say that's a good thing? And all the other stuff that happens. So.
It's, to Saggy's credit, she'll admit outright that she doesn't care as much about the Amico. In fact, she's been focusing on a lot of her own projects, so.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing.
Right.
If Retro Bro or anyone wants to come on, I'm not looking to have a debate. I'm looking to actually have a discussion. I was on Cyrus's channel. I was on Saggy's channel. I went on Mad Max movie entertainment channel, and you could watch one of those maybe. I don't know. I think one is still up. The Mad Max one is still up, but you can see I'm not out there yelling. I'm not screaming. I'm not calling people names, insulting anyone. I'm simply giving my reasoned response to why I feel a certain way, why I think a certain way, my perspective on things, and when I do that, you can see that people in the comment sections typically agree with what I say, or at least why I'm saying it. And I think that's the biggest reason why they won't come on this show. They know that if they come on here, people will see that they have no substance to back up what they claim, that we are not crazies. We are not a bunch of psychopaths. And what we actually have is probably the opinion of the majority of people out there rather than the minority that they try to paint us as.
Okay.
And the last week has shown that that's true, based off of all the different, especially after E3, just the comment sections and the chats and everywhere. It's been pretty obvious that most people agree with what you've been saying.
If you search Twitter for Amico, you'll find nothing but positive people for recently. And I'm not kidding. I can't find one hater besides the usual people. So, I mean, they are getting they're getting an increase in fans. But, I mean, but look at the chat for the E3 presentation. Look how many people compared it to the Nintendo Wii.
Well, I will say this, Carl. I will say that I've noticed a lot more newer accounts popping up on YouTube and Twitter to give positive praise to the Amico. Take that for what you will. It's just something that I've noticed. So, Sega Thatcher is right. There's definitely more than 10 haters. There's definitely more than 10 people that find flaws with the system, whether it's the price, the games, the whole premise that there is no couch co-op anymore. So, and like I said, I think that, they have a really big problem with myself. And I'm going to say this. I was going to make a video, but I might as well, since we're here, I might as well, say it here. I think the fact that I am in games journalism, I've been paid. I mean, I don't know how much more professional you can get than someone giving you money to do a particular thing. I've been paid to write articles about movies, video games, do reviews. I worked for men's magazines that were online. I've done it. I've put in the work. And I think that there's a certain level of authority that comes with that. So when people hear that I am a games journalist, they think that my opinion holds more weight, that there's more value to what I say. There's not. You shouldn't base your opinions on other people's job title. You should base your opinions on facts as you see them. So I think that the whole campaign to discredit me as a journalist is based on that they believe that if I have this position, this title, that people might listen to me, and that's definitely not what they want. And there's also a bit of jealousy. I feel like, in the last Amico After Dark, when Mike Mullis was going on his little rant, they had name dropped me, and Rab, Retro Advisory Board, he made a comment about me. He said, let me get the quote. It was Mr. No Access, yet he got interviews with developers more than I have. That right there just tells me that, that's what it all really is about. It's the fact that despite all this, despite the negativity, despite my harsh criticisms, despite the fact that I've pretty much, not shown Tommy any sort of reverence, I've still been able to get developers to talk to me. I've still been able to get people in the industry to send me copies. I've still proven that I can do, what they want. They want to do this. They want to be games journalists. Cyrus, he tried it. He couldn't do it. Rab has obviously been trying it in some capacity. He's not able to do it. Mike Mullis, he was a former games journalist who had to close down his website. So obviously that was not, profitable, or, for some reason he closed it down. If it was success, I would imagine he'd still be doing it. So in my opinion, there's got to be a little bit of jealousy there. And again, if you want to correct me, if you think that I'm wrong, feel free to show up onto the show, hit me up. We'll get you on the panel. You can tell us exactly how you feel about me and Ninja and Carl. Do you think that I'm out of line on that, Max.
No.
You heard that rant, right?
Yeah.
I
What was your
wish Rab would confront me. It's he needs to know the truth.
Yeah.
He needs to know the truth about. I know they like Retro Bro, okay, but he's really. I mean, I have my thoughts about him, and I'll leave it at that.
Bisco says that it's because the Amico Joy account is spamming shit videos. Yeah, that Amico Joy account, I hope that Tommy's not paying for that because, first off, it's not getting any views. It's spam. People are probably blocking it. I'm sure they've reported it to YouTube. And it really, that would be a terrible way to try to get people interested in your product. Do you guys agree or disagree? I don't want to hog all the.
I assume it's one of the fans doing it, not Tommy himself.
I couldn't say it myself. I've never heard about it.
Well, then it's not really doing a good job. It's a channel. It's a channel that basically has the Amico console images, and it sometimes it's 10-minute videos of just some flashing lights, some scrolling text saying how great the Amico is. Then every once in a while,
trying to brainwash people.
Yeah. Then it does a what it calls a Joycast, where it just live streams, but no one's talking, and it's the same flashing images and Amico.
So they're brainwashing people and inducing epileptic seizures.
Possibly,
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's the truth. That just sounds like what it is to me.
We got Chuckling Spectator here. He's late to the party. But you can always watch the replay.
Okay, let's see. I don't use YouTube much. And mostly just talk Amico on Reddit. Oh, that's interesting.
You got to go on the YouTubes. There's some really good videos. There's been quite a bit more new channels opening up with pretty entertaining videos. And I can't remember all the names of the people, but there are usually 1 or 2 minute videos that are good.
You don't by any chance have your vitamin supplement business, do you, Chuckling?
No. I think
just asking.
He is on Reddit. He does.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I will say that Chuckling needs to slow his roll a little. He gets a little overzealous. Maybe post a couple too many.
He's a wild man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, what are you doing, Chuckling? You're burying my videos. I need those views, man. I need them. It's my life. That was sarcasm.
G10118 says, I feel like it could be OEB, but that's just a hunch based on the level graphic design.
I don't think he's too busy doing other videos.
He's busy doing.
Someone with a lot of free time.
And he's got a family, so there's that.
I'll say this about OEBP. That boy puts in work. He has so many videos. He just knocks out 3 or 4 a day. It takes me forever just to get my 1 or 2 a week that I put out. But he's knocking them out 3 or 4 a day.
Yeah. He's always busy.
Plus, he has a job.
I agree with that.
He has a job and a family, and he's knocking out these videos. I'm jealous of his work ethic. I mean, I have to drag myself out of the bed.
I think I said it before. Is it work ethic or just being a bad parent?
Maybe a little bit of
wow.
both. Maybe a little
What
bit
kind of
wow.
what kind of parent would neglect their kids and go on a podcast? Oh wait, my kids are in the other room, being neglected. It's all good. Oh wait, no, I'm in my mom's basement. I forgot. Jeez.
What's up, 1-inch biceps? You missed all the wrestling talk and how we were talking about.
I mean,
Is this a
Tony
wrestling
is
show
a
now?
good. Tony
I
is
got
a
the
good
wrestling
parent. He spent quality time with Max while podcasting. So
Yeah, you got to do like me, Ninja. You got to get your kid involved in the YouTube so they can make a negative channel. They could also.
Well, that's how I got my name. Originally, it was my kid's YouTube channel.
wow.
G1
I
I'm just gonna call you G1. G1. I'm tired of saying all these numbers. Not sure much effort goes into each video, but yeah, it's a lot of content. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch. I tried to watch one of Pete's live streams. He was, I think he was live streaming the G.I. Joe game or something, and there was just a lot of dead air. It was just him playing and not like talking or interacting with the crowd or telling stories. It was just. So after that, I just kind of checked out, and I really haven't watched any Pete videos since then.
It is weird how Pete does so much all the time. There's so many videos all the time. It is weird. And I'm not knocking the guy. And just saying it feels a little weird. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. 1-inch bicep says, oh, well, at work, so ain't seen AEW yet. Well, we weren't talking about new wrestling. We were just talking about Stacy Keibler having a sexy ass. Sonny getting all drugged up and no longer being as attractive.
You forgot to mention how you like the older woman, right? The Golden Girls and Mae Young and the Moolah.
I'll tell you what, since we're talking about Mae Young, Dixon mentioned it. There was one of my relatives, my uncle, he had just gotten out of jail. He just got out of jail. So we were watching wrestling, right? And it just happened to be the Mae Young where she exposed her breast on the pay-per-view. And Max don't know this. Mae Young was like 80 years old or something. Her boobies hang down to like her knees.
There's puppies airbrushed on them.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing.
I fondly remember it because I was at a pool hall and they had the pay-per-view on the TVs, and all of a sudden everyone was just like, "What the hell?" Like everybody.
Damn, you all lead more exciting lives than me. That's for sure.
Tony, if you ever have a wrestling Saturday night podcast, let me on because I used to live with a wrestler. I wouldn't say a professional wrestler, and I have a ton of funny wrestling stories, and lots of wrestling stories with washed up WWE guys. So
that sounds very.
I mean, you could do something like that Sunday.
Maybe
Sunday I have to.
Call it Sunday Rumble or something.
I have to go hide in my mom's basement and fabricate a bunch of misinformations and mistruths about the Amico.
No. Your mother's seller.
And then wish I had a girlfriend as per the Retro Bro and somehow find a job because I don't have a job. All that stuff.
Now,
took my job.
Speaking of wrestling, there's a very specific reason why this broadcast is on a Saturday at 7:05 my time. Now, I'm sure that 1-inch biceps, he knows the reason why. But I'm going to throw it out there. Leave it in the comment section why you think that I'm doing this Saturday night, 7:05 p.m.
Get up tomorrow.
Beefy wants to know, he says, all right, I'm back. What have I missed? Nothing really, just more bullshit talk. Ninja Kitty was about to tell us who he was roommates with. Apparently, Psycho Sid Vicious was his roommate or something.
I've not met Sid. I will say, I did meet at least, I don't know, about 50 different wrestlers in the span of one summer of like former WWF, WCW wrestlers. And of the 50, I'd say about 40 of the 50 were complete, as we were talking before, completely messed up from a life of drugs and drinking. It was mostly sad, but it's pretty bad. Some of those guys. I'm amazed that they're still alive. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All the drugs were preserving them. That's why.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a celebrity deathmatch episode I watched. Anyway, yeah. So what's next here?
What else is up? Okay, what else are we talking about? The Amico. We love it.
Spawn Wave. I don't like Spawn Wave. I can't stand that guy. He
says, let's read the comment. Luke Skywalker says, Spawn Wave just had a group discussing the Amico. You'll have to go back and see what they all said about it. Well, if you have a link, I could get it up on the screen and we could watch it now, live.
What if it's like an hour long?
I mean, well, if it's not an hour long, at the very least, put us a link so that way we could watch it independently.
That guy is going to talk about it at the last second. He always does that crap.
I don't even watch.
I have a question for you guys.
What's up?
When the Amico goes on tour at every single shopping mall, are you guys going to be hitting up all the malls to see if you can play the Amico?
I don't know if the Amico will ever come to the Florence Mall, to be honest.
Somehow they don't have. They can't get controllers out to the developers, but they'll have controllers ready for the mall tour. So I'm just wondering.
I'm not going to say one thing is one thing or whatever, but
that's sarcasm.
Yeah.
I will say this: if they do come to my city, if I find out that there's a special event or something going on where I can go, I will be going, and I will make sure that I have a good enough sob story that Tommy puts me in the video, so you'll see me talking. You'll see my face.
with your ANA shirt on.
Yeah.
You know what? Me and you should partner up because I can bring my mobility cane with me.
So that's my plan, to get into an Amico official video, to be out there playing the games.
Or better yet, I can teach you how to use a mobility cane. You can pose as a blind man.
I could do that. But seeing as I look nothing like what they think I look like, I think I'll be fine sneaking in.
Yeah, I mean, not sure why it isn't letting me share the link. Okay.
It might be something to do with YouTube.
Yeah, it's probably YouTube.
I'll just go back and I'll watch it later. I'll add it to the pile of videos I gotta hate watch later.
Okay.
That's the other thing that I don't understand, and maybe Ninja Kitty, you can help me out with this because you are also being accused of stalking and hate watching and stuff.
Oh, they're really mad at me. Yeah.
I mean, is it somehow evil or wrong, or to watch and share the content about the Amico? Because I'm constantly being told that Retro Bro actually got all mad in Discord the other day. He was mad. He's like, "You're always sharing my videos." And it's like, isn't that what you want? You want people to see the videos you make on the Amico? Like, I'm confused by this. Like, somehow,
unless you're posting it out of context or something, then otherwise.
I mean, let's be clear here. Retro Bro is the kind of guy who laughed at Boogie when he was being harassed by a stalker.
Yeah, that was situation.
That was monstrous, okay? And that is what happened before anyone accuses me of lying. It's even on his channel.
Well, there is some context you're missing there, Carl, but
You mean about the whole gun, but still, you don't laugh at the guy, laugh at people when they're in that kind of stress. It's clearly that Boogie is troubled, probably mentally ill or something.
I'm not sure if anyone's aware of it, but Boogie has at least claimed, not been substantiated, but claimed that he was abused. It does have some mental.
It does. I'm just saying the guy sounds troubled. Okay, that's all I'm saying. It sounds like he goes through a lot of stuff, and it's not right to laugh at someone like that. And it's just. And Retro did something that my brother does sometimes. When he thinks a video is funny, he'll rewind a video and watch it again.
Don't yell.
I don't that often. It's a pain to do that. But my point is, it isn't like he did this once. He did this a few times.
Yeah,
and again, this is the truth.
I will admit that I've watched the Michael Mullis rant like 8 or 9 times. I'm thinking of clipping it.
I don't even know what you. Oh, please clip it! Please clip it! Please clip it!
Well, Opaque One.
Carl's excited.
Opaque One clipped it, but there's a small section where it's specifically about me. I'm thinking of clipping that section and putting it as part of my intro video on my channel.
Wow, yeah, you could totally do that. I mean, again, folks,
it is just so good.
It's so nice that I've went over to Twitter for my content creating. It's so liberating.
You feel free, man.
I feel free. I don't have to worry about views or anything like that.
You don't have to worry about the views.
I can tell
Realistically, I think that none of us should worry about views. I'm not worried about views.
I don't care.
I can tell the algorithm to go fuck itself.
Tony, I can't speak for yourself, but for myself, I don't take anything personal at all. So if nobody watches my channel, I don't care. Like, I don't give a crap. I just put some funny stuff up and hope a few people laugh. And they take it so personal. But
the only thing I take personal. The only thing I take personal on the internet is people bullshitting me, and that's about it.
Like, if I want to be mean, and because they have so much hilarious stuff on their podcast, like it's just low-hanging fruit. It's just too easy, and I'm trying to be. I try to be a better person by not, making fun and teasing people.
Don't feel bad. That's what Tony does.
Doesn't do that. I don't think. I mostly just try to. I just try to focus on the product itself and just make people aware of the product and try to keep the cult people at least out of it. Tommy, free reign against him because he represents the product, but
Since Carl hasn't seen the rant, I'm gonna go ahead and mute Ninja Kitty and Carl, and I'm gonna play the rant. And let
me get out of that chat.
Wait, in this video, in the same fucking video, they showed people playing with the console. They showed a family in a room. I thought we were. They were holding. No, Rab, I'm coming with you. They're holding controllers. They're playing cornhole. There are multiple shots of people holding the controller, playing games, touching it, and even using the phone controller. Now, I would not care one lick if it was the jackass squad that we always have to talk about, and the fake journalist that can't show his fucking face on the screen, and we don't know his real name because
Amico, I don't have access, but I got interviews.
Right. He can't
more than I have.
He doesn't have any media credentials, but he's a journalist. Now, I don't care about him. He can say whatever the hell he wants. But let me read you something.
All right, that's enough of that. We don't need to hear Mike reading the Ars Technica ethos. But
I want to read to see him get madder.
That's funny. That is just too funny.
You gotta love how he brings me up to tell everyone that he doesn't care what we have to say. Hey guys, here's some people that we don't care about. Let's talk about them for a couple minutes. Hello, this is Tony TGD. Welcome to
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just want to say I did like his intro there, saying we see videos of people playing cornhole, and if maybe that Mike guy should watch my video, where the second part of my last video where I show here's the scenes of them playing cornhole where you don't actually see them playing the game. It's all weird camera angles and there's no clear shots, and then I clipped in the Wii shots where it's crystal clear showing them playing the game.
No, I want to touch on one. I want to touch on one thing because I feel like being petty. The Jackass Squad, really? That's the best you can do, dude? Come on.
I'm sure they had more colorful language.
Come on, the Jackass Squad. You can do better than that.
But
like gaming racist sympathizers, or
I like the comments. Those are good.
Here's my real name and address so that Relic Gamer can stalk me daily and be rewarded by Tommy. Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why they want to see my face. I mean, it is a very nice looking face. I will say that. But I don't see how that would make anything that I've said somehow be more truthful or less truthful by seeing my face. And the same thing with my name. I don't see how my name, my legal name being attached to my YouTube
apparently
channel.
It makes all the difference, because my first videos that had just the robot voice, it totally discredits the video, because even though it had like the screenshots and everything, because it was not my real voice, everything that was in that video was incorrect. And
I want to say one thing about you hiding your face. Lots of people hide their faces all the time. It doesn't make them any less
credible.
Thank you. In fact, a lot of people in law enforcement hide their faces for the safety of their families.
Yeah, for all you know,
Bingo.
I could be an FBI agent that I have to hide my face.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that's a stupid comment to make. Because someone hides. So what? He hides his face, big freaking deal. I don't show my face anymore just because there's no point.
And I think for anybody with children, anyone with children.
And I like to stream with my shirt off. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Anyway, you were saying.
Anyone that has children probably knows that you don't want to show your face. I mean, I don't need people knowing what I look like and then harassing Sidekick Max. I'm sure Ninja doesn't want that. I mean, so
I just don't want to make them jealous.
I think it also shows another level of how out of touch they are with the current internet and how things go. The whole idea that you don't show your face. There's huge YouTubers that don't show their face, and no one's having a problem.
It's not like Ninja Kitty is a 4-foot dwarf with an ultra sexy voice or anything.
Nope. I'll give everyone a hint. I am taller than Tommy. I'll say that.
I think we're all taller than Tommy.
I'm nearly 6 foot, so.
I'm 6'2", 6'3",
and I'm not quite a 50-year-old. I'm not quite a 50-year-old overweight man with a wall of gains behind me right now. I'm just some
Luke
average
says,
guy.
we need to show our faces because there's only 2 of us haters. I think they want to see our faces so they can find the actor that I've hired to play Ninja Kitty and the actor that I've hired to play the other haters, so they can discredit us.
Also.
Yeah. So God forbid you have a radio show, you'd be totally unable to make a valid point because the listener can't see your face. Yeah, exactly. Everyone on NPR radio, they're totally discredited because I don't know what they look like.
If you want to see my face, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll compromise and show you a single butt cheek.
Please don't.
Do we get to pick left or right, or is it like?
Sure, why not? I don't care. I know. I mean, it's perfectly normal to not want to show your face, especially if you have a family.
Exactly. Easy G brings up a good point. Look at Mad Max. He wears a Dr. Doom mask. Yeah, it's funny how the haters are required to show their face, but someone like Mad Max, who was friendly towards the Amico, no one had issues with him hiding his face. I mean, double standards, whatever you want to call it, hypocrisy, you know.
Yeah.
Pigsy says he could show his face. Doesn't matter. I live on the other side of the world. Yeah, he lives on the upside down part of the world, you know, over there in Australia where the drop bears.
Oh, Australia, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pigsy just can go outside his house and he'd probably like be attacked by some wild Australian creatures. 1-inch biceps. I want to unmask Tony TGD. Well, you're gonna have to wrestle me in a steel cage. 1-inch biceps. You know, in one of those mask versus hair. Well, no, 1-inch biceps is bald. Mask versus title.
You need the lucha mask on.
Yeah. If I win,
lucha mask.
If I win, I become the new 1-inch biceps. And if I lose, y'all can unmask me live on TV.
I mean, you know, for all we know, Tony could have a toothbrush mustache and a funny haircut, you know, and you know, once governed Germany in World War II.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
saying he is.
This is incorrect. I am not a person.
I figured that Tony is just AI from the Atari VCS that's been computer generated to sabotage the Intellivision Amico in the war.
You know
what? That would be more believable.
Actually, I am an actor paid by Shigeru Miyamoto. He contacted me. He heard the negative things that Tommy said about Nintendo, and this is his payback.
And by the way, folks, this broadcast has been sponsored by Amico After
Nintendo.
Dark.
No, but in all seriousness, I don't understand this whole show your face rhetoric, other than
I don't care if you show your face or not.
They probably just want to point and make fun and make personal insults towards us. I know that there was a gentleman, Seafoam Gamings, I believe. He talks with a like a slight lisp or something. It's hard to describe, but they basically made fun of the way he talked because he said that the Amico didn't look good. I mean, these people will attack you for having an opinion in the most horrendous and ridiculous ways.
Well, it's the childish ways. They're all immature.
Yeah, like Bisco says, they will attack the messenger instead of the message.
I mean, you know, it's. I've heard them say this, the stuff they say about you. So yeah, it's. And by that I mean like Cyrus, Retro Bro. You know, and if you, I mean, Mike Mullis, as you just saw. Geeks with Cash doesn't necessarily do that so often.
Yeah.
I mean,
I try not to. You know, I don't really bring up anybody and when I do, I just bring up what they say, kind of discuss the things they've said, and not actually the person. But somehow or another, we don't get that same sort of respect.
I'm not. This is all fact, though. People could watch this on the Amico After Dark broadcasts. So we're not necessarily throwing anyone on the bus. It's just they've said this, so it's time someone dragged it into the light. People are always quick to do that to me whenever I make a mistake. That's all I'm saying. And I don't mind that. I don't mind that, but
if I've said, and I've said this repeatedly, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it probably again next week and next month, but if I've said something that was incorrect, I have no issue with someone saying, hey, this particular piece of information you said is incorrect. Here is the correct information, and I will correct it. I've done it. I made that video about Tommy not being in the credits to Battle Arena to Shinden 3, and he is 100% not in the in-game credits. You can play the game, you see he's not in there. However, he is in the booklet, the instruction booklet for the game in the English version. This was brought to my attention by someone who worked on the game. Immediately the next day, I made a video, said, hey, Tommy is in the instruction booklet for the game. He's still not in the in-game credits in the game, but he is in the instruction booklet for the English version of the game. I don't have a problem correcting it. That's what, a good journalist, a good YouTuber, someone who has ethics, that's what they do. So this issue of them saying that we spread misinformation and they just don't want to tell us because it doesn't matter, we won't correct it, is in itself a big, huge lie. Would you say I've said anything wrong here, Max?
No.
You're awfully quiet.
I am quiet.
He's worried that what he says will get him grounded.
I don't get grounded.
He don't get into much trouble. I mean, overall, he is a good person. He does cause a little bit of a headache.
He's a teenager. All teenagers cause headaches.
Yeah.
See? It's not that big of a deal. It's not even it's just a fact of life.
I could be
just
teenagers.
Yeah. 1 Inch Biceps has accepted the mask versus title challenge. He just wants to know what the location is. Tokyo Dome.
Mud wrestling.
No mud wrestling.
No mud wrestling. I don't like to get dirty, so no.
And you like wrestling? Okay.
But yeah, I said this last week. 1 Inch Biceps has a great podcast with Jackie Jones. They talk wrestling. They've done a huge amount of interviews with wrestlers. So if you are interested in wrestling, check out In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I mean, they are some of the best.
But now that he's been on here, they're gonna start complaining about him.
Nah. Bisco says, get in more trouble while Tony still has to bail you out, Max. Yeah, he has 2 more years that I'll be able to financially bail him out. And then when he turns 18, the police can arrest him and have him put away.
Have you already picked your tattoo you're going to get on your 22nd birthday?
Max, you getting a tattoo on your 22nd birthday?
Probably not.
He's going to get an ANA tattoo.
I will. If someone comes out with a good enough design, or I'll do it myself, I will get an ANA tattoo.
Speaking of the design, we'll open it up to the 13 people watching and however many see it on the replay. Jackass Squad design contest.
Jackass Squad.
We could get some merchandise going.
I like it.
I mean, give me a few days and I can come up with a better name.
No. if we're gonna have a name, we're gonna have a name that they gave us. We're gonna own it. We're gonna show them how it's done.
All right.
Because they like to call themselves shills, but the way they say it, you could tell that they really are not embracing it. They're just doing it for to try to pretend, to put a brave face on as they're crying inside. Hide the pain, Harold, if you will. So, Jackass Squad, we're gonna do it.
Does that mean we're gonna hee haw when our podcasts begin on Saturdays?
We will have someone can do a Jackass. There it is. We'll clip Carl making the noise to start off the Jackass Squad.
I mean, okay, if you want to, I don't care.
Pigsy Abacus says, Tony, when do you get your Amico shell? He said that in all caps. Very mad about it. I haven't got anything. I haven't got any shipping notice, nothing. I actually sent an email to them today asking about it because I've heard nothing. I don't know.
Oh, hey, you know what you should do? You should make an ANA wrestling belt.
We'll
get on that. I think maybe that the shell that they showed off on the Chalk website, maybe that was just a render, and there might not be a real one yet. They're still working on getting it.
You could at least ask for the render. Hey, I paid $2,000 for a render. Come on, where's it at?
Hey, I'll get an NFT. They'll send me the little link and be like, "Here's your NFT render." Says,
or else you'll get an Atari VCS signed by them.
It is hard for any journalist to keep up with Tommy's career due to all the drama and controversy. You see it with Amico too. It's a hot ass mess. Yeah, I mean, there is so much going back for so long. I've had people email me and PM me things that would make you blush because they're so out there. I do know, I can say this because Tommy did say this publicly in an interview. He does not travel with a midget. It has been reported that Tommy had a midget travel around with him to make himself feel taller. He said that that's not the case. And I will put the link up on Discord so you guys, you could read it.
Was it the island of Dr. Moreau and your what is it? Never mind. Sorry.
Marlon Brando with
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you're Marlon Brando.
So Tony, that's what he looks like. He's a old white guy that's pasty and weird. With a midget.
1 inch bicep says, if Max loves the Amico, would you ground him?
Dude, disown him.
Yeah, I would. He would just pack his bags. He would be dead to me. I don't know because you wouldn't live here anymore.
I wouldn't go to my mom's.
If you like the Amico, you go live with Tommy. Tommy can have you. No, realistically, if Max liked the Amico, I wouldn't care one bit.
You better be careful. Tommy Tallarica will genetically engineer him into an Amico.
He could. He's gonna put you in his Willy Wonka factory making Amigos.
No.
Yeah, but then it just keep getting delayed and never.
An Amico.
You just keep getting delayed and.
Yeah, you'll be stuck there forever making Amigos.
No.
Bigsy Abacus says, "I would like to guest on the podcast in the future."
I don't have any problem with that.
Hit me up on Twitter.
You sure did.
Twitter or Discord or Reddit, somewhere where I could PM you the link in private. That way I won't have a bunch of people just showing up.
I mean, yeah, it's totally cool. I think Ninja Kitty needs to be part of the panel.
Well, like
Me?
I said,
yeah, you.
Well, the problem is it's summertime. I'm at my mom's cabin because it can't be mine.
Okay.
And
okay.
I try, and I'm using my work cell phone here, using all their data, but that's okay, whatever. Oh wait, I don't work. Crap.
I don't either. It's not that big of a deal.
I can't remember what other excuses.
If you,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
I try getting on whenever I can. I'm trying to be nice.
I
have
do
a question for
things-
Tony though. Random question. I have random things that go through my head.
Okay, go ahead.
And
Shoot.
Random question is, I think it was the E3 presentation. Did you catch the beginning when Tommy said that he worked on Metroid Prime when he was doing his spiel about himself? And do you think he did that purposely as a dig towards you?
I do. I did catch that. Max sat here and watched the video with me. As soon as it came on, I said he did that purposely for me. I was like, I know he did.
And wouldn't it be funny if Nintendo had like sued him for that, and then he? I just find it really funny.
I mean, yeah.
But you know what's really funny? If you watch that E3 video, this is not a big enough thing to make a video about, but it is big enough to laugh about. If you watch the E3 video, when it shows the footage of the games, pause it when it shows the footage of Cool Spot, because you'll notice there's a watermark in the video. He couldn't even capture his own footage for Cool Spot. He had to use it from, I think it's Good Guys.
From a YouTube channel?
I try
a YouTube channel or a website.
I try so desperately to forget that presentation. You just keep reminding me over and over.
That is one presentation I rewatched a few times because I needed to pull clips from it. And when I
one moment
listened to it with actually like with headphones on, I didn't notice until a few people made comments about this. The audio quality on that E3 presentation, it has a terrible echo to it. Like it's really bad, and you would think for a sound engineer or whatever he calls himself that the audio would at least be on point, but it's really bad. If you go back and listen to it, it's a couple of people have made a point of that, and not to mention, as I said, that it's dark and like just really, really look cheap. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I still can't get that. I still can't get Tommy saying me out of my head when he from that stupid presentation.
Like Beaker?
Good. me. I will call him Beaker. That's what I'm gonna start calling him.
Nope, there's the Cool Spot.
Yeah. As you can see, it says nesguide.com. That's the footage.
That's funny.
I mean, not a big deal, but it is kind of funny that he's that amateur hour that they would actually have to lift someone else's footage so he could show that he worked on Cool Spot.
I mean, let's be fair here. He's a musician. I mean, musicians, and I can say this because my dad is a musician. Musicians are just like that, It just kind of.
Your dad steals YouTube videos?
Well, I mean, Michael Jackson stole the rights to the Beatles music.
No, he bought those.
But legally, but basically he stole them from them.
Yeah.
Poor original Beatles. Audio had lag. Is that true? I didn't know that.
They just got their rights to the Beatles music back, so. I mean, my point is, like, musicians are about raw emotion and stuff like that. That's what I mean.
It's putting the Waffle House belt on the line. I'm a pancake guy myself, but I will be the Waffle House champion.
If you're going to do an eating contest, no cheating. You can't use water. I hate that crap where they do a hot dog eating contest and they're cheating by dipping the hot dogs in the water.
I just couldn't do that. I hate soggy.
Carl likes it just pure raw. Pure raw.
I mean, if you're gonna eat the hot dogs, eat them the way they're meant to be eaten.
With ketchup.
Ew.
Mike Martinez is in the chat. You think Tommy fakes guitar playing? He does. Well, on the live show, he does.
My dad's more of a musician than most people like him.
Yeah, from if you read the reviews for Video Games Live, you'll see that there's several people that are complaining about the host with the fake air guitaring. And I think
I may have made a point of it on. I'm not sure if it was in a video or on Reddit, but a lot of the reviews of the last few years seem to make it seem like he's changed the show to be about himself instead of. Because I remember Video Games Live like long time ago, like 15 years ago, when my girlfriend had went, and it was, Tommy was part of the show, but he wasn't the main center point. Like they had the video game pianist and the other guys there too. And the recent reviews were all about him telling jokes and like air guitaring and like the spotlight on him. So I assume he's doing this out of a midlife crisis and needing to live out his rock star fantasy or something, but it's just weird.
Well, I know that speaking of the video game pianist, I know that pianist, he had a falling out with Tommy. Something happened between the two of them because there was now deleted Facebook post about it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
He seemed like a good guy.
He did. So I don't know. I think maybe it might have been about the focus or Tommy trying to shorten his involvement or, because I know that guy was getting a lot of attention at one point.
Oh, he did back in the day. And then because they have a Video Games Live, remember there's a DVD I watched like 10, 12 years ago. And at least 5 or 10 minutes of the show was just focused on him playing like Zelda songs. And I forget the other ones. I think of the Mario songs. Like he was the main star. And then the funny part is that what I remember of that DVD is that was Tommy going Castlevania and then like pretending to air guitar, or he's probably air guitaring it. And I just thought that at that point, like 10 years ago, that was super cheese. And it all makes sense now based off of, seeing what he's been like the last few years. So, hey, Dorkalicious on.
Dorkalicious is also another alternate account of mine.
Yeah.
Kenny is just a figment of your imagination. But Kenny from Dorkalicious is also Easy G. So we're all just the same person. But it is Japanimation. I'm not an old man. I am a middle-aged man. But welcome to the show. If you ever want to jump on Dorkalicious, let us know.
You can throw your voice to 4 different people? That's impressive, man.
It is. With no echo and all this audio.
Simultaneously, yeah.
I could even talk over myself. It's really, it's a unique talent. But back to Video Games Live. So maybe Tommy probably told the video game pianist, he probably wanted more Tommy focus, less that guy focus. So there was probably an issue between the two of them about that. I do know that from what I read in the reviews that the songs and stuff weren't really updated, that he hasn't really been getting new songs, and that there's, it went from having video accompanying the songs to just static images, like if they've cheapened out over the years.
Yeah. That's what I read too. And even when they came to where I live, Mysterious Place, and that's another problem. They've saturated like how many times they've came to visit. Like it wasn't every year, but it was like every second year. So like diminishing returns because they keep going and going, like touring the same places. But when my nerdy friends who went, they said the same thing where it wasn't as good as when it first started.
Yeah. Dorkalicious says, I swear to God, Tommy does air guitar. I know there's at least one video from Video Games Live where you can clearly see him air guitaring. And I mean,
he definitely hams it up when he does, though.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe he does know how to play. And, obviously, singers, they sometimes don't sing, live because of, the intricate dance choreography. So maybe Tommy's choreography and his jumping around just wouldn't work with him actually having to play the guitar live.
It's possible.
And I do know that there was a lot of people in the reviews that had complained that I guess Tommy works the crowd up to be cheering and, yelling over the actual music. So when you should be enjoying good symphony orchestra music based on video games, you're getting a lot of rowdy people cheering and clapping and, you know, being obnoxious, if you will.
Y'all still around?
We're always around, Carl.
Just was just getting a piece of pie.
Pa.
Ooh, Carl getting that pie. Was it a banana pie?
Lemon meringue, I think.
I hate lemon meringue pie.
How dare.
Sidekick Max loves it. I hate lemon meringue pie. I hate the meringue.
I love the pie that everyone loves to hate. Key lime.
Oh, key lime. That's
Actually,
what the old people like.
This might be what a key lime pie, maybe. I'm not sure.
If it was frozen, then yeah, because usually key lime pie is frozen.
If you're interested in really good key lime pie, look up Kuchi's key lime pie. Trust me, you'll go down a great rabbit hole. Kuchi's key lime pie. But Bisco says it's literally called Video Games Live, though, not Video Games Pre-Recorded. Yeah, I mean, you can go to a concert and they claim to be live, and half the time the people aren't singing, especially when you have a song where it's obvious that the person's singing two different parts or the audio is over each other, that there's no way that you can actually sing it like that live.
Yeah, but how many like orchestras have you toured without being live though? I've never seen that or heard of that.
I think the orchestra is live, just not the guitar.
From the reviews I saw, it seemed like there's less orchestra, less because the old times had the video game piano guy and everything. It's just more so Tommy in front of the stage, hamming it up with the guitar, with the pre-recorded music playing.
Yeah. Meringue is nasty. Meringue is nasty.
Why is it nasty? No, explain.
Because it tastes disgusting.
It has no taste. It's egg white and sugar.
And that's disgusting. Says he can noodle around.
He's getting Little Max is getting pretty ragey about meringue.
Yeah. He's a little chef over here. But he can noodle around and maybe stumble through some songs, but not while jumping around. He doesn't have a decent tempo, fundamentally lacking in terms of I've never been a guitar player. I don't have guitar player hands. So, and I don't know about that.
I bet Tallarica has never been to Gear Fest, which is basically, by the by, the musicians E3.
The question I have is if Tommy is such a legend. I just have a question. If Tommy is such a legend at video game music, how come no retro games that come out now ask him to produce music for their games? Because like you often hear about I can't remember the names, the Sega guys and other people who, like the guy for Streets of Rage, did a song for Streets of Rage 4. You never hear people asking Tommy, "Hey, do some tunes for my retro-inspired games." So that's why I don't think he's as popular as he makes himself out to be.
Like I said, I mean, and the people know Nobuo Matsuo, who did the Final Fantasy music. They know Kojima, who did Metal Gear Solid. Thank you. Just getting through all the pie. Todd Howard. But they don't know who Tommy Tallarico is.
Yeah, I have to agree with Ninja Kitty. I mean, pretty much he just stopped contributing to video games for music, like thinking the early 2000s.
It's just weird because real musicians don't need an excuse to make music.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, you would think, right, if he was, let's just face facts, if he was one of the top 10, top 20, top 50 musicians for video games, studios would be banging down his door. Tommy, come back. We need you to make songs for our new game. We're coming out with a new Final Fantasy. We're coming out with a new Metal Gear, Death Stranding, whatever have you. big franchises that want the best musicians, the best audio, they would be coming to Tommy if that was him. The fact that they're not speaks volumes.
Big time.
And hey, Tommy, if you're watching, come on and prove it.
I don't think that's
come to the broadcast and prove it.
I will say Tommy has never ever posted on any of my videos. I am very sad. He comments on everyone else's, and I don't even get a single one.
Well, he stopped commenting on mine. He thought that he came in and he was huffing and puffing his chest and said, "You won't leave this comment up," and blah, 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 blah. And then I pinned the comment and said, "There you go, Tommy. It's all pinned." So he edited his comment. And when you edit a comment, it unpins it automatically because YouTube doesn't want you to accidentally pin a comment that someone edits to be negative or something. So if you edit a comment, it gets automatically unpinned. So then it got unpinned, and he's like, "See, you didn't pin it. You're a liar." I'm like, "No, you edited it." I was like, "There you go. I pinned it again for you." And I think after that, he hasn't shown up. No, you know what? Actually, I'm wrong. He showed up when I made the Jay Allard video to let me know that I was an idiot and that Allard was not a full-time employee. He was just a contractor who is still on the Allard phone that Tommy can pick up and get advice at any time of day.
His name is Allard, and he's here to save the day.
Grant Kirkhope or Tommy Tallarico, it'd be hard to choose which one to do your game music. Nintendo got desperate and went with Grant Kirkhope. I was too busy with him.
But he said he worked on Metroid Prime, though. Says in the comment that he never worked on
there. Super narcissist hero, Tommy Tallarico.
From my understanding, let me clear the air on the Metroid Prime stuff. As far as I know, as far as I've been able to uncover, I tried contacting Shiggy. He was a little busy. He didn't want to respond to my email. But as far as I know, they were doing a trailer for the Space World. I think it was 2001. He did the audio for that trailer. Not the music, just the audio effects.
Hero.
And then Shigeru heard the music, heard the audio rather, and was almost willing to pull the trailer from the whole event because he was very unhappy with it. After that, he then contacted Rare, told them to stop work on the 3 games that they were working on besides Metroid. That caused Rare to take their in-house music department, put it on to Metroid Prime, and at that point, Tommy's contract was not renewed. Now, whatever else happened, whatever else, details that I'm missing, it's pretty clear that whatever sound effects he did for the trailer were considered unacceptable by Miyamoto, and this caused him to cancel some contracts with Rare, which in turn caused Rare to cancel Tommy's contract or not renew it.
You mean Mr. Potato Mata didn't like him?
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Mr. Potato Mata didn't like him.
And I know that from an interview with Clark Wen, who took over Metroid Prime after Tommy was no longer involved in the project. Retro Studio, not Rare. Yeah, sorry. I get things wrong. Retro Studio.
He's got Grant Kirkhope in his head.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm just reading this comment. My singing really isn't that good, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like a crime against humanity, one of those war crimes you hear about.
No, not really. Your singing's not that bad. But after Clark took over on Metroid Prime, he said in an interview that there was only 2 weapon sound effects done, when he took over. He then said, and I quote, "I more or less left them in the air." So to me, that means that he either tweaked the audio, maybe sped it up, maybe slowed it down, maybe changed the pitch, but it's not exactly the 100% identical to what was in there prior to his involvement. So if there was a Tommy sound effect for some of the weapons, they were at least altered a bit so that they were no longer 100% Tommy's work.
So, Tony, you're saying you wouldn't use that as an example on your resume for saying work that you have done in the video game industry if you were Tommy?
No. I mean,
it's just so silly.
It is, and again, it speaks volume, in my opinion, that when we've had Metroid Prime, a collection of the games, they added new credits to, credit the people who helped the collection. It speaks volumes that they didn't add any Tommy Tallarico credits to the game. They've never publicly came out and said, hey, Nintendo never came out and said, hey, Tommy should have been put into the game. We made a mistake. He should be credited, blah, 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 blah. And I know Metroid Prime 4 is in the works, and I haven't heard that Tommy's been invited to do any work on it.
Tommy's too busy, apparently, himself developing all the Amico games. I've heard that quote where he's talking about how he is working on each of these games himself. So he's so busy with his 50 games that are in production.
Well, maybe that's why that the games have come to a standstill as far as production. They're all waiting for Tommy to finish up the sound effects. Luke Skywalker says, come to think of it, I did hear an oof in the Metroid Prime trailer.
No, it's like it.
I don't want to, I hate that these things, it always comes down to, like it seems like I'm piling on to Tom and, I'm trying to discredit him or trying to make him look bad. But he has creator of oof in his Twitter bio. Yet we all know that he didn't even create the sound effect. He 100% admitted that someone else, Joey Curious, was the person who made the noise. Tommy Tallarico was simply the person who recorded the noise, while Joey was under Tommy Tallarico's employment. So he didn't create OOF. He's the owner of OOF. He has the ownership of the studio that hired the man that was making the OOF noise, but he didn't create it. And as far as I know, he did not even, it wasn't his instruction like, hey, make a noise this way or whatever. He didn't compose, quote unquote, the OOF noise. It was just a random sound that Joey made for the sound effect.
That's impossible. Sorry, I'm just trying to. I'm reminded of that scene in I'm reminded of that scene in the second Star Wars movie where Luke finds out Darth Vader is his father.
Spoilers.
Damn, I wish I could hit that. Hit that impression just right, because that'd be perfect for that. That's a joke.
All right, so unfortunately, the special guest says that he might have to reschedule for next Saturday.
Nice.
So
sweet. I'll be glad to.
Yeah.
Max is confirming it, and just because I want to do a little tease, we will say that the particular individual has a YouTube channel, 200,000 plus YouTube subscribers. Starts with a V. First name starts with a V. Last name starts with a G. That's all you get from me. But if anybody doesn't have anything else to add, any other questions?
So, farewell, Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Now, last week I did promise that Carl was going to sing Barbie Girl for us. So I'm going to go ahead.
You don't want that.
I'm going to throw the floor to Carl. You want me to put the music on? I'm only playing.
I really need the lyrics. Otherwise, I'd probably do it.
All right. So, like I said, no comments, no questions from the chat. Ninja Kitty, you got anything else to add?
Nope. Nothing. Just going to stay tuned and watch Twitter, I guess, since that's where all the activity is happening.
He's a sad, homely man.
We've been here for 3.5
Failed
hours.
at E3.
Carl's
is
drunk off pie.
drunk off
He's
pie.
a sad, homely man who failed at E3.
Oh, jeez.
He sucks
Freestyling
there.
on us.
He sucks there. You just watch it.
All right, Carl, we're going to cut your mic. You're getting a little too spicy for us. Go, Carl. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, Jackass Squad merchandise. Help us design it. Tune in next week, special guest. Hopefully, he doesn't cancel again, or I will look like an idiot. But you know how we do it here on this channel. Love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.
See ya.